at a heavy cost. Coffee cold, I can't think. Neon wires down, don't blink. Where they go, who's the link? True crime cafe where the whispers play, secrets hide, bodies sway. True crime cafe in the night we stay. Truths decay, truths decay. Dago in the corner, eyes like stone, words like daggers, chilled to the bone. Echoes of screams on a borrowed phone. A city of shadows, you're never alone. Coffee cold, I can't think. Neon buzz, tongue don't blink. Where they go, who's the link? You're never alone. In the sirens well, another ghost for the tale. True crime cafe where the whispers play, secrets hide, bodies sway. True crime cafe in the night we stay. Truths decay, truths decay. Ashtrays full, sins don't wash. Table stained, lies embossed. Fingers point but the lines are crossed. Justice sleeps at a heavy cost. Coffee cold, I can't think. Neon buzz, tongue don't blink. Where they go, who's the link? Echo in the corner, eyes like stone, words like daggers, chilled to the bone. True crime cafe, in the night we stay. Truths decay, truths decay. Echo in the corner, eyes like stone, words like daggers, chilled to the bone. Echoes of screams on a borrowed phone. The city of shadows, truths decay. Idaho in the corner, eyes like stone, words like daggers, chilled to the bone. Echoes of screams on a borrowed phone. A city of shadows, you're never alone. Coffee cold, I can't think. Neon buzz, tongue don't blink. Where they go, who's the lake? Ashtrays full, sins don't wash. Table stained, lies embossed. Fingers point but the lines are crossed. Justice sleeps at a heavy cost. Coffee cold, I can't think. Neon wires down, don't blink. Where they go, who's the link? True crime cafe where the whispers play, secrets hide, bodies sway. True crime cafe in the night we stay. Truths decay, truths decay. Dago in the corner, eyes like stone, words like daggers, chilled to the bone. Echoes of screams on a borrowed phone. A city of shadows, you're never alone. Coffee cold, I can't think. Neon buzz, tongue don't blink. Where they go, who's the link? You're never alone. In the sirens well, another ghost for the tale. True crime cafe where the whispers play, secrets hide, bodies sway. True crime cafe in the night we stay. Truths decay, truths decay. Ashtrays full, sins don't wash. Table stained, lies embossed. Fingers point but the lines are crossed. Justice sleeps at a heavy cost. Coffee cold, I can't think. Neon buzz, tongue don't blink. Where they go, who's the link? Echo in the corner, eyes like stone, words like daggers, chilled to the bone. True crime cafe, in the night we stay. Truths decay, truths decay. Echo in the corner, eyes like stone, words like daggers, chilled to the bone. Echoes of screams on a borrowed phone. The city of shadows, truths decay. Idaho in the corner, eyes like stone, words like daggers, chilled to the bone. Echoes of screams on a borrowed phone. A city of shadows, you're never alone. stained, lies embossed. Fingers point, but the lines are crossed. Justice sleeps at a heavy cost. Crime cafe where the whispers play, secrets hide, bodies sway. True crime cafe in the night we stay. Truths decay, truths decay. Dago in the corner, eyes like stone, words like daggers, chilled to the bone. Echoes of screams on a borrowed phone. A city of shadows, you're never alone. Coffee cold, tongue don't blink. Where they go, who's the link? You're never alone. In the sirens well, another ghost for the tale. True crime cafe where the whispers play, secrets hide, bodies sway. True crime cafe in the night we stay. Truths decay, truths decay. Ashtrays full, sins don't wash. Table stained, lies embossed. Fingers point, but the lines are crossed. Justice sleeps at a heavy cost. Coffee cold, can't break. Be a buzz, tongue don't blink. Where they go, who's the link? Ego in the corner, eyes like stone, words like daggers, chilled to the bone. True crime cafe, in the night we stay. Truths decay, truths decay. Tango in the corner, eyes like stone, words like daggers, chilled to the bone. Echoes of screams on a borrowed phone. The city of shadows, truths decay. Tango in the corner, eyes like stone, words like daggers, chilled to the bone. Echoes of screams on a borrowed phone. A city of shadows, you're never alone. Coffee cold, I can't think. Be a buzz, tongue don't blink. Where they go, who's the link? Ashtrays full, sins don't wash. Table stained, lies embossed. Fingers point, but the lines are crossed. Justice sleeps at a heavy.
Welcome back, all you peeps and peepettes. How are you tonight? I hope everybody's having a great night. Thank you guys for joining us here tonight. We do appreciate you guys so very much. The cafe is open late tonight again, guys. Another late night with Dago, guys. Tonight, to sheath or not to sheath? That is the question, and that is what we're talking about tonight, guys. This damn sheath. The main thing within this case, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk a lot about it. It's an open discussion. I will be dropping the link right now so you guys can be ready to pop on in here. Share this out. Please hit the like button. If you will, let everybody know what we're getting into tonight. I appreciate you all so very much. That being said, well, you know what comes next, everybody. right. Well, welcome back to the cafe. It is great to be back with you guys tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're all having a great night. And I hope you all had an amazing day. It is great to have all you beautiful people in the house. You are all so very amazing, and I appreciate you so much. Guys, I pinned the link at the top of the stream. It is an open discussion. As we're discussing and looking through this mess of a mess with this Idaho court case, the one main thing about this case that is driving everybody insane is this stupid sheath. Does it exist? Does it not exist? Where was it? When did they have it? Did they have it? We got so many questions. We're going to discuss it and make it make sense. Try to look at some documents involving it, other reports, whatever we're going to do. We're going to do it, guys. It's all about the sheath tonight. Come on in. Tell your friends. Tell your animals. Tell your enemies. I don't care who you tell. Tell everybody that we're here doing this tonight, guys. Share it out. And please, 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 if you do anything, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. Even if you don't want to, just pretend like you like me for a little while. If you will, please and thank you. I appreciate you very much. Come on in, guys. Grab a seat. By the way, once again, I got to keep doing this because we're all spread out in so many different places. So I'm going to say it again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you are, whoever you are. I hope it's good for you because it's great to be here with you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you to my moderators for jumping in here tonight and taking time out of their busy lives to spend some time in here doing the amazing job they do. I love and adore each and every one of you and appreciate you more than you'll ever know. So thank you. Let's see who we got joining us in here tonight. So far, looks like Miss Tea Time Sleuth's back in the house. Thank you for that. Ballerina Beauty Guru, welcome. Good to see you. The Done One, welcome back to you. Moonlit Baby. The Megastar Meg P, welcome back, dear. Good to see you. Eddie's in the house. What's up, brother? Hopefully Eddie will maybe join me tonight if you can. Kelly Land, welcome back to you. Yvonne Poole, great to see you tonight. Jesse Schul, my door's always open for you as well, brother. You're always welcome up here. Fizzy spizzing around in here. Dagburn, Johnny Gobbles, Dead Bluesy. Mama's in the house. Great to see you, Miss Diane. Beach Babe, welcome back to you. Michelle F., welcome back. Kent Corbett, great to see you, sir. Social Glow, great to see you. And Witchy, love when you join us. Thanks for joining us. Senior Wazowski, Joanna Bell, good to see you tonight. Fish. Let's see. Wellington Oda, welcome back. It's great to see you. Thank you so much, Meg. Again, everybody, just so you know, it is never, ever expected, because I say it so very often. Donations are never, ever expected, but I promise you guys, they are so very helpful. They keep my bills paid so I can keep doing this, and them bills come due. Internet, StreamYard, and all them pensive things. If I don't have them, you don't have me, guys. So any donation, be it Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, it all helps, guys. So thank you so much, Meg, for that. I do appreciate it, and I appreciate you. And if you're just enjoying the content, guys, and you want to tip for that reason or whatever you guys call it, that's very much appreciated as well. Truth Seeker, great to see you tonight. There's Miss Tanda Tan. Good to see you, Miss Tandy. Grateful to have you here. Stitches, what's up, neighbor? Good to see you today. And I love you just as much, Wellington. Thank you so much for being here. I love each and every one of you guys so very much. Summer Thunder, welcome back to you. Let's see. I think I got almost everybody. The Tomboy's in the house. What's up, Bomb Toy? Good to see ya. Thanks for... Oh, thank you so much for stopping by. I miss Friday, too. I do. Sarge just said he had to step back because, you know, he's more into the... Sarge has always been about the constitutional side to this whole thing and the legality. The other stuff, it kind of gets on his nerves. So if and when something were to go down with Brian, the legal side of it, you know, and all that, he will pop back up. I can assure you. Jimmy, no, I did not. Why? What happened with Jimmy Kimmel? Are you serious? No way. Y'all, what is going on with that? I guess I don't watch enough TV anymore, guys. I don't know these things. I don't watch that much TV, like regular TV. Oh, that's why. Oh boy. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Here you go, y'all. While we're waiting, I guess I can show you if you haven't seen it. What's up, Dylan? Good to see you, little brother. Good to have you in the house tonight. Thank you so much, Miss Chandy. Let's see what we got while we're waiting on everybody to jump in here because I got a few minutes. I'm going to wait out anyway, just to make sure everybody jumps in tonight. And there he is, my brother Eddie. Good to see you, pal. How are you tonight?
Good to see you. I was busy telling all my friends.
Good. I appreciate you, sir. I do very much, though. It's grateful to have you up here tonight. I'm sure you'll definitely have some input on this conversation. But let's check this out real quick, you guys, because I had no idea. And yes, I did see, very sadly, guys, just right after my show, as it was ending, York Township or York County, Pennsylvania, there was a horrible situation went down. I believe 5 police officers were shot. 3 of them fatally. 2 of them have survived, but they're under care. They haven't given any reason as to what the deal was, why. It was a very active situation. We looked into it right after the fact, and I just now got some of the information out of the thing, but 3 of them were life flighted immediately, which is pretty chronic. And then the other 2 were transported to a local hospital, but it's a very bad situation. So please, folks, we still love it and we need our law enforcement. Not all of them are bad. And again, these people had families. They lost their lives. So we need to keep them in our thoughts and prayers and their families as well. It's a very sad and horrible situation. So, yes, please, if you're a praying person, pray for their families. And, of course, the situation. Crazy things going on, you guys. Crazy things. Oh, that's awesome, Tea Time. Thank you. If that's what you're meaning. But yeah, very crazy stuff, guys. Very crazy stuff. So let's see what this is all about. I'm pretty sure it says ABC Network pulls Jimmy Kimmel's show indefinitely after certain remarks were made. Dylan Hildreth in the house. Well, what is up, brother? Good to see you tonight.
What's up?
How you doing, buddy?
Got a new internet router, so we'll see how it goes.
And I got, by the way, I got an extender, you guys. So hopefully my internet service will not be doing its thing. They got scared because Spectrum was in my front yard running new lines 2 days ago. And I called them because I was still having the buffering issues. And I'll be honest with you, knock on wood, it's been running faster, quicker, and no buffering. So hopefully we won't have any issues, guys. And I told them, if so, Spectrum, I have an option now, folks, other than Optimum, So let's see what this is all about real quick. And then as everybody's jumping in, we'll get moving with everything.
And the ABC network are taking Disney and the ABC network are taking Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air indefinitely. This follows a controversy over comments the late night comedian made Monday night about Charlie Kirk's suspected killer and the MAGA movement and their reaction to the assassination. Let's get straight to CNN's chief media affairs correspondent, Brian Stelter. Brian.
If nobody has noticed, the government isn't playing with this. Everybody, anybody, I don't care if you're a high-ranking official or you an actor or a nobody. You are not to be put out negative statements or anything on this, or you're done. That's all there is to it. It's pretty wild.
What is going on?
That's right. This is fast developing this afternoon, Jake, amid pressure from the Trump-aligned FCC. And in the past few minutes, ABC confirmed to CNN that Kimmel's show will be off the air, quote, indefinitely. We have not yet heard from Kimmel or his representatives. That's how quickly this has been developing. But let's back up and look at what Kimmel actually said on the program that has caused controversy. This is from Monday night in his Monday evening monologue. Kimmel suggested that the alleged killer of Charlie Kirk might have been a pro-Trump Republican. He said, quote, the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. He said in between the finger pointing, there was grieving. Kimmel was expressing what we've heard some other liberals say in recent days, that the motives are unclear and that maybe the suspect in this case was a Republican or was some sort of far-right fringe figure. Of course, there has been a lot of discussion about that in recent days. There's a lot of evidence pointing in other directions about the suspect. But Kimmel was on the air talking about this, making a very serious commentary amid his jokes in his monologue Monday night. Here's where it became interesting earlier today. The FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, went on a far-right webcast and condemned Kimmel and urged ABC to suspend him. He also talked about possible regulatory punishments of Disney because there are lots of different stations that have licenses with the FCC. Within the past hour, we've heard from a big owner of stations that have affiliations with ABC, a company called Nexstar, saying that they were going to suspend Kimmel's show on their station. So in other words, about 24 stations were refusing to air Kimmel's show tonight as a result of this controversy. And then following word that some of those stations were basically revolting against Kimmel, Disney, the parent company of ABC, decided to yank the show entirely. So that's all we know at the moment. We know that Kimmel will not be on the air tonight or for the foreseeable future because the network says the show has been yanked off the air indefinitely.
Brian, just to take one issue, your interpretation of what Kimmel said, I think, is the one that Brendan Carr had and the one that the individuals at Nexstar have. But what he said specifically was, quote, the MAGA gang is desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. That can be read in several ways. That could be heard in several ways. It could also be it could also be argued. He's saying that
welcome to the spin cycle.
The gang is doing is just trying to make sure that they don't have any ownership of it, not necessarily that this killer, this horrible person, was part of them. I mean,
I think you're making a very important point.
Yeah,
you're making a very important point. And let's take it a little bit step further. This was all on Monday night. Nobody seemed to notice this yesterday, Jake. This all erupted in the past few hours when the Trump-aligned FCC chairman decided to point at it. Now, I've heard from him in the past few minutes, Brendan Carr, thanking Nexstar for doing the right thing by yanking the show. He has not yet commented on ABC yanking the show altogether across the entire country. But let's remember that when Stephen Colbert's show was canceled over the summer, what did President Trump say? He said, next up will be an even less talented Jimmy Kimmel. It is clear that pro-Trump allies have been trying to target ABC over Kimmel for several weeks now, and tonight they've prevailed.
Yeah, Brian Stelter, thanks so much for that breaking news. Let's go right to the panel. And let me first start by showing, I wondered what was going on earlier today when I saw this pop up on Twitter. This is the FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, on a far-right podcast talking about what Kimmel's comments were. Let's roll that tape.
You know, when you look at the conduct that has taken place by Jimmy Kimmel, it appears to be some of the sickest conduct possible. Obviously, look, there's calls for Kimmel to be fired. I think, you know, you could certainly see a path forward for suspension over this. And again, you know, the FCC is going to have remedies that we could look at.
Joe, are you comfortable with the FCC playing this role?
I don't think this is a legal issue. I don't think this can be pointed to the FCC or the Trump administration and say, well, this is about them going after Kimmel because of what he said. Personally, I think it's more of a cultural issue. And I got to tell you, look, I'm about as moderate a Republican as you're going to get. I'm from New York. I have not been comfortable watching late night television 15 years because when you have conservative leanings and you're constantly mocked and you constantly feel like you're doing something wrong, you shut it off. You don't watch it anymore. And then what happens is it's circular. If the host doesn't have that audience, the host doesn't worry about keeping an audience like that. It goes in circles. And at some point, you get things like this where you say things, and that wasn't the full quote, The further quote was that he mocked President Trump for flying the flags at half-staff in remembrance of Charlie Kirk, and said it's like grieving of a 4-year-old, as a 4-year-old grieves for a goldfish.
No,
That was the full quote there.
Well, the full.
Oh, wow. I'm not going to get into all the rest of that because the rest of it just grinds political gears, and I'm not doing it. We all know what this is all about. Like I said the other day, I fully and truly believe, and I'm telling you, I'm making the t-shirts and I'm putting them in my store. People, or power versus people, period. That's where we're at nowadays. And I'm just saying, Kimmel should have known better. You don't make that was a pretty raw statement, in my opinion. Okay. You don't make a statement in a situation like this when it's very politically aligned. But some of these people think they're untouchable. You know, I'm not a fan of his. I'm not that. I don't know. I don't feel good because it happened, but it just doesn't, it's indifferent to me. It's just interesting to see. Like, I have seen so many things via Facebook and Twitter, people losing their jobs. There's, I guess where my daughter works, she works for Goodyear. She's an IT, what the hell do you, IT, whatever. She does all their IT work. Not all of it, but she's one of the people that does it. And they posted something on their website that says, if anybody makes any kind of negatory comments about this, that, or anything, you're immediately terminated. It's a lot. There's a lot of people losing their jobs. A lot of people that, yeah. So it is what it is. I told you my take. I don't believe that somebody should lose their life over an opinion. I think that's a horrible, horrible thing. Whether you agree or disagree with somebody's opinions, thoughts, feelings, or theories on anything, you don't have the right to take their life. Is all. That's my take on it, period. And, you know, when teachers are saying things to their kids and putting their kids out there that they teach with, no, guys, it's not how you do this. We have quite a few teachers that are in this community, and they know you don't do that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Let's see, real quick. Nothing half-assed. Welcome to you. A tay and a win. Damn it, SRB came back. True crime crashing out. Good to see you, criminal mindos. So they're like blaming you for blocking him. Jesus criminy. Oh well. Don't say stupid things and you won't get blocked. I am me. Great to see you. And it wasn't me that did it. It was one of my amazing moderators. Ken Corbett, great to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight. And I don't question anything they do. There you go. There's reasons for that. They do what they do because they're great at what they do. The Done One, great to see you. Mayhem and Miracles, welcome back, Eminem. Great to see you tonight. Miss Kelly Land, welcome back to the cafe. Great to see you. Paula Fitzhenry, the positive one, always in the house. Great to see you tonight. True Seeker, great to see you. I think I already said it. Miss Vivian, welcome back to you. Oh, let me see. So, Mary Holt, welcome back to you tonight. A little late night with Dago. We're going to be talking about the Sheath, or their lack of. Who knows? Crazy world. Miss Joanne, there you are. I was wondering where you were. Jesse Schul, of course. Great to see ya. And, of course, guys, we have Eddie up here tonight, along with Mr. Dylan Hildreth for Hildreth Media. Both have very, very interesting thoughts, opinions, feelings, and input towards the topics we talk about. I hope you got it. Tea time. If not, one of the mods, can you drop the cat? Or actually, I can put it up here for you. I'm sorry. I think I have that separate by itself in here. Give me 1 second. And again, it's never expected, but so very gratefully appreciated you guys. Thank you for that. If anybody wants to donate or anything, we do appreciate you very much. D. Smith in the house. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Oh, you got it? Okay. Good deal, hon. Thank you so much. And very much appreciated, by the way. Oh, okay. Awesome. That is awesome. Thank you. I think they're posted on my community page too. So, all right, guys, let me turn this down in the background. Sorry, it's getting Irritating already. Hold on a minute here. So, gentlemen, how are you? Edward and Mr. Dillon, how are you tonight, sirs?
I'm doing great for now. We'll see. Like I said, we just got a new router. Might be able to do some lives depending on if the router is actually doing what it's supposed to do.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And how are
Well,
you?
thank you
Mr.
for
Nate?
asking. Doing well, as always.
Good. Always grateful to hear that, Eddie. Always grateful to hear that. Mark Schumann, welcome. Good to see you tonight. Looks like we got 72 people in the house and 36 likes. Come on, guys. You like me, don't you? Show me. Please hit that like button on your way in the door. That way we can get this up in that algorithm, please. And thank you. There we go. It's going out. Now we got 53. Good deal. Again, thank you to my moderators for doing what you do. Couldn't do this without you. Our Whip. Welcome, Miss Whip. Good to see you tonight. Oh, Lord. I don't know what is wrong with me.
Well,
Well,
I'm very underqualified to solve those issues with you.
yeah, I am too. I lose my mind sometimes and was thinking about Wisdom Speaks, and I almost said something about her being here, and I forget sometimes. It's so still kind of surreal. Yes, always grateful to have both of these gentlemen up here again. Oh yeah, we got little bits and pieces of that stuff we're putting together tonight. We're going to be looking at things and listening to things about this damn Sheath. That first and foremost, does anybody truly really know if this thing even exists?
I think it does. I think it does. However, I'm not convinced that the touch DNA on the knife sheath is legit. I think the blood mixture is legit, but as far as the touch DNA, no. That part, I believe, is absolutely planted.
Sure. Eddie, it is all bullshit to me. Eddie, what are your thoughts real quick before we go anywhere with it, buddy? What do you think?
I'm beginning to think it doesn't exist.
It's what happened to me too, dude. Thank you.
I just learned something from Tomboy.
Uh-huh.
She said, and I didn't watch any of that, so but she's referring to the 2020 show.
I'm gonna play the audio clip from it tonight. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I can't play the full because they'll strike me. But Becky, good to see you. Phenomenal Mom, welcome back to you. You are the shiz. James Moen, welcome, my brother. Good to see you tonight. And that's my Jesse Schultz. You're welcome to jump up here, Jesse, if you feel like it. Meg, thank you so much for hitting one of the goal numbers there. God bless. We appreciate you always. Thank you so much. I thought it existed. And I'm not saying I completely don't think it exists. But at this point, I'm a show me person. Okay. With everything. People say aliens exist. Show me. People have told me, ghosts, show me. In this case, they said Brian Koberger did this. Show me. Where the fuck is the Sheath, folks? There's been 9,000 plus pictures put out about this case. Not one of them includes a Sheath. Now, you would think, being that this Sheath is the center of this entire case, in a sense, okay, that they'd show something. Nope. And Lana was here the other day. I think you were here. Were you in here for that, Eddie, when Lana joined us?
Yes.
I think. Okay, I thought you were, and I know Dylan was. Lana made a comment about something she's FOIAing. Okay, some pictures. When we were going through the Idaho State Police pictures, there was a report in there. Hey, Doc, great to see you tonight. Jody Walters, welcome back. There's one of our amazing teachers right there. About 3 pictures that were deleted. Beach Babe, great to see you tonight. And I read that report to you guys, and when I read it, I questioned it and went, you ain't supposed to do that. You can just take more. You don't need to delete anything. But they did. they deleted 3 of them. So Lena is foyering. I think she said 10 before or 5 before and 5 after, a total of 10 into 3. She wants to know what's up with this. I automatically, and I think we both hit on that at the same time together while she was here. I automatically thought right away, gee, I wonder what those 3 pictures are, because she's right. They usually take a series of 3 for each thing they're taking. They get the one standard picture. There's one with a evidence tag next to it, and then there's a close-up, okay? All 3 are gone. So the one thing we haven't seen, you got to imagine, gee, I wonder if that's what's missing. And if that's the case, why? You tell me why.
Well, those photographs, if it's in that room, it would be of the area where the sheath ought to be, and it would be the absence of the sheath if they're deleted photos.
Right. Why? Say that one more time, Eddie. Say that one more time. The whole thing.
So
please.
imagine that those photos showed the sheath. Well, there would be no purpose for the state, the prosecution, to delete those photos. But since they're deleted, we would have to assume that it would be where the sheath would be expected to be, and it's not.
Thank you.
Missing.
And that's there it is, folks. There it is. Okay. So, and yes, Meg, a foyer. I'm gonna kill you, Meg. A foyer, however you say it, is an entry room to whatever. Foyer. She's gonna foyer. I think I said it right that time. Those pictures. So yeah, guys, like I said, 9,000 some odd pictures, and the only thing we've not seen, a sheath. The main thing in this case. Go ahead, bud.
I saw something where they had like 50 some odd terabytes of data. Like
51 to be exact. You're right.
And like, we haven't even seen, with everything that's come out so far, we haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg of what they have.
Right.
I mean,
well, you would think though, okay, you're right about that. There's that. That's a good point. But they've put everything else out to us that they wanted to put out. Let me put it that way. And they know how much negativity there is facing their investigation from social media, the people they put all these reports out to. You'd think they'd give just one little piece of information, the main piece of information in this case, to say, hey, here it is. Now shut up. But they haven't even done that. Okay. And I feel like it's because they can't. And it's something else that made me nervous. And I'm not saying it means anything, but in another report we read, if you guys remember this, they were talking about, I think it was Hitler that made a statement about how, well, no, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase this. Gilbertson and Payne, one of the 2 of them, I can't remember which one it was in the report, they went and purchased everything that Kohberger's, quote unquote, supposedly purchased: a knife, sheath, and a sharpener. And then if they were gonna bring it into court, hey Linda, good to see you tonight. They were gonna have to place it inside some kind of a case or something, I believe. I think it was some kind of a clear case or something to display it. Okay. Has anybody ever heard of anything like that being done in any kind of an investigation or a hearing or a trial, where they bring in, I guess, what they're calling the evidence? They go buy this. I've never heard of anything like that. That was bugging me a little bit. Like, why you're doing that? You don't have this. I get it. So just put the sheets out there and show that. We don't know that they weren't going to, but it was never talked about in anything. They went and purchased another one. Why would you do that? If you have this sheath that had these whatever on it, you've done your testing, you don't need any more, present the sheath to the public, which they never got to do that because there was no trial, but I just wonder if it was ever going to happen. So I have issues with this. Let me check, make sure I'm catching everybody. Yeah, they claim they have. They claim it has been deleted. Kathy, these unread in court documents released.
The
Yes. We're gonna be hitting up a lot of that stuff, Linda. Go ahead, bud.
The knife sheath, it honestly never made sense to me to begin with, especially the kind that they're claiming that they have, because it would be attached to a belt.
Should be.
And I saw a thing on 2020, I think it was 2020, that like either Maddie or Kaylee was able to rip it off. Like, no, absolutely not. There is no way that in the process of getting killed, you're going to be able to pull off that thick leather knife sheath off of a belt. No chance. It never made sense to me with that. So it just like the
Sorry, go ahead, bud.
the explanation for it of the knife sheath being pulled off by Maddie or Kaylee in that just that
Nope.
makes it even less sense, because again those kind of sheaths they're like decently thick leather. I mean, they're meant to hold a very sharp knife. A girl in the process of getting killed is not going to pull that off of a belt.
There's no way that you'll ever be able to make me believe that happened. This rawhide leather, whatever the hell this is called, okay? The stitching, I've tried that with this. I mean, it's not the same thing, but it's the same material. They're all made out of the same material, basically, okay? And I sat here and tried to pull this thing and yank and do. No way in hell. I don't care how hard they were fighting, they were doing this. There's no way. Okay. So, and even if that's the case, show us the sheath. Let us see it. And this is not the same kind. It's different, but let us see it. Let's see if it's torn, because the rivets, okay, and most of these, they're so strong. And leather itself, you can't just tear it, folks. You just can't. I'll never believe that. There's no way that I'll believe that this was ripped off of a belt loop. I can't. In fact, I'll be honest with you. If anything, I would see a belt snapping or a belt loop ripping before anything like that would happen, in my opinion.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's again my opinion. Somebody could prove me wrong. I don't see it happening, but I'm just saying. I guess it could be done. But no, these are made to be durable for this reason. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the chances aren't zero that you'd be able to use that as a midpoint to pull a trailer.
Yeah, they're very strong, folks. Very strong. I mean, if somebody can show me, I almost wanted to go look for it, but again, I don't see it happening. These things are not indestructible. The knife blade, I've seen many of when this first happened, I went and looked it up. People talking about how these break often, the tips bust off of them, the handle, the hilt, all that stuff. But that didn't happen. There's no way that happened. So
there you go. Let me walk back.
Yes, sir.
My position. Earlier, I said I don't believe there was a sheath, meaning in the time sequence, like when first responders got into the house, it wasn't there then. And it's going to be placed at the crime scene because there is blood DNA on it, right?
Of course.
So it got there later, and what it's going to be is it's out of sequence. So some of the photographs and stuff already started happening.
Oh yeah,
which would possibly show that the sheath wasn't in those photographs, and then later suddenly it's placed there.
Yeah. But that's why I want to see. That's why Lana wants to pull up. For one, she wants to see these photographs in sequence, which they're supposed to be. I want to see the 5 before and after those 3 that were deleted to see what bedroom it's in. Okay. Because, what bedroom the other photographs are in. That's what I want to see. Because that'll tell us where it came from, per se, in my opinion. So if they have all these photographs coming out of Maddie's bedroom and you don't see the sheath in there, that's a problem to me.
Dago, would you be able to pull up some documents?
I'm actually doing that right now, but I can do yours first before I pull up what I was going to pull up. Yes.
I can direct you to a couple of them that are relevant to this.
Yeah, the one I was going to pull up is the actual PCA. We know it's garbage, but there's a reason why. But tell me, go ahead, and whatever you got, buddy, let me know.
Well, besides that one, pull up. I think it's best if I start with a date, right? So you can get that starts getting you closer, and then once you're there, I can give you the.
Yeah, give me the year and then the rest of because these are all put in order by the year too. So 22, 23, 24, 25, and then the rest of it you can give me.
Yeah. So this is in 2023.
All right. And where are we going from there?
It's June 16th. And there's a few of them on that date. And this one is titled
of 23, Ed?
Yeah. June 16th.
Oh, all right. Let me show you what I have again, because we have this from time to time. All right, so I don't have. Oh, maybe I do. I didn't go back far enough. I'm sorry. That's a little too big too. Hold on. All right, I think we're good there. So, shit, that'd be still too big. Give me a second here. There we go. Yeah, there are a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. All right.
This one is called the Motion for Protective Order. It's the state's motion for protective order.
Okay, there we are.
Okay.
Maisie Aquarian is Ethan's sister, one of his triplets.
So just put that one on the shelf. I mean, you can just have that sitting, right? Because if we want to start with yours, and then we'll go.
No, you can start wherever you want. I can get to my point anytime I need to. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, there's a reason. There's one other besides this one, and there's a reason why this one's first, because it's in chronological order, right?
Okay.
So as you know, in real time, as we've been following this case, this was the first. Well, besides the PCA, this was the first time any light whatsoever was shed on the sheath. This gave us a bit of information, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're going to page 2.
All right.
In the factual background, in the first paragraph.
Right here. On November 13th of 2022, law enforcement found the bodies of Madison Mogen, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin at 1122 King Road in Moscow, Idaho. All 4 victims died from apparent knife wounds. Law enforcement found a K-bar knife sheath on a bed next to the bodies of Madison and Kaylee. The sheath was face down and partially under both Madison's body and the comforter on the bed.
Okay, that's plenty. So now add to that what we just learned from
2020.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get into that for a reason. Yes, sir.
So what it didn't say in the state's motion here is that it wasn't viewable unless the comforter was pulled out of the way, because it's underneath the comforter.
Exactly.
See, they're just playing with the words here.
Well, and it begs the question, because I'll show it to you, but I'll tell you now. In the PCA, it states that later, Detective Brett Payne was walking through with Officer Smith, I think it was, and I'll probably fix that. Welcome, Anna D. Good to see you tonight. Brian, Brian, good to see you tonight, brother. Samir Dalby, welcome real quick. And congrats, Lily Rose. Great to see you. Happy day anniversary on 20 months. That's amazing. So very appreciative of you being here with us in this community. God bless. We love you. That he could see from the doorway as he looked in the sheath. Now, I think we've always questioned, how do you see something that is underneath a comforter and underneath the thigh of a person laying there? But okay. So between that statement, this document that states that it was face down and partially under both Madison's body and the comforter on the bed. You saw that from the door. Okay. All right, Eddie. So what was the next document you wanted me to pull, bud?
Yeah, and by the way, I should add, and I know we can't, take what 2020 says and run with it.
Of course.
But I trust that there is something, I guess, that is... otherwise, why would they say it? Where would they get that? There is something there that is truthful and that I am inclined to believe.
Well, there's a little bit of truth sprinkled in every lie. So yes, sir, I agree with you.
So the next one is in the year 2025.
All righty. Give me 1 second here. All right, 1 second here, guys. Let me get backwards. All right.
Okay, February 24th.
Swear to God, February had more documents than I think the entire case did of this year. It's a lot. February 24th, and which one do we got, bud?
So it's a motion in limine by the defense. And what's nice, how the defense did theirs, is they put like a pound sign and then the number. So like number 6, right?
Right.
So,
Okay.
so it's easy at a glance to identify it.
Got you.
So again, motion in limine number 6.
1 minute here. Was it the states or the defense?
It's the defense. And
Riley Nowlin? And reference
yeah.
contact DNA. Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
Just making sure. Because my numbers are off a little bit sometimes, so I just want to clarify that I have the right number. All right. And okay.
Okay, and then it's bottom of page 2 in the footnotes.
Right there. I think we've already been here once before. Because
Yeah.
it was right there already. So yeah.
And real quick, if I'm not mistaken, so I showed you the first one, and that was June 23, and then it took until this document for us to learn, because I've been, I kind of have kept my notes. Anytime there's something about the sheath, I'll add it in that
Of course.
section of my notes, so it's organized that way. Unless I'm mistaken and overlooking any document or any other bit of information that is, considered the public record about the sheath, this is the very next time that we learn anything further about it.
2 years, right?
In the chronological, following of this.
Yeah, it was two years, 23, 24. Yeah. So yeah, good point.
So footnote 2 on the bottom of page 2.
Okay, so the exact location of the sheath is unclear in both photographs of the room. Oh, Eddie, I love you. I love you to death, bro. And in the written description of its location, the body cam footage of one of the first officers on scene shows the sheath tucked under the covers next to Ms. Mogan.
So if you add up all the pieces of information we have so far, there is no pictures of the sheath itself anywhere. And that body cam, that last sentence there is kind of confusing. It's suggesting that there's like a lump or something. It doesn't really say that you can expect, if you were to look at whatever they're looking at, this discovery here that we don't have access to. If you were to be able to look at that, before you look at it, if you had to wager whether or not you're going to see just a lump under a cover or you're going to see a K-bar sheath, you would probably wager it's just going to be like some bulge or something underneath the covers.
Of course, yeah. And a night, it's not very big piece of leather, folks. It's very thin, and it's not big. Okay, so as far as a bulge per se, it's not going to give much of a shape. So, but still, right? This doesn't. That's not the problem. The description of this situation of this statement here is a mess. The exact location of the sheath is unclear in both photographs of the room. And I'm gonna say this myself, okay? And I think that was put in there on purpose, that statement itself, okay? And in the written description of its location, the body cam footage of one of the first officers on scene shows the sheath tucked under the covers next to Ms. Mogan. Well, the first sentence, that the sheath is unclear in both photographs of the room, I think they purposely added it because at some point they knew it would be questioned. Welcome, Cat Lady. Good to see you tonight, dear. And Dunwan, good to see you. Alley Books, welcome. So there again, this is my opinion, folks. These aren't facts, what I'm stating, but that's how I feel. Dylan, Eddie, anything to add to what I just said to that part of that, or anything else with this so far?
That part of it, no.
Okay. Anything else to add besides?
Yeah.
Do your thing, buddy.
Okay. Well, we have Judge Hippler says that Detective Payne discovered the knife sheath, and that is Exhibit D14 from the grand jury.
Mm-hmm.
And once he discovered it, Detective Payne notified ISP investigators. But that contradicts that Dustin Blaker stated that ISP found the sheath. And we learned that in sequence number 93 of the ISP reports.
That's correct.
So there's that. And of course, when the defense questions that, then in his order, he kind of reprimands them for quibbling over semantics.
Sure.
Mind that. So
yeah, he's good for that, right?
Beyond that, additionally about the sheath, I have that it's been suspected for a while that the screenshot from Mitch Nunez's body cam at 12:04:55.
Yep.
We've already kind of gone through that probably a couple times, and we know that he's in the kitchen, so that can't be it.
Right. There's that. Yes. We have 3 pictures that are missing from the pick roll. So there's that to add to it too. Go ahead, bud. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yep. Report number 2. This is from MPD.
Moscow's. Okay.
Yeah. Eric Warner, who is he doesn't sheath.
You're breaking up. You went robotic for a second here, bud. Say that one more time.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're
Not
okay.
better?
Yeah, that sounds good. Do you need this document left up here? Because I'll pull the other thing up real quick.
No. We're done with those.
Okay, go ahead. Keep talking. Sorry to interrupt you again.
Okay, I'll start over with report number 2, which is MPD report. Eric Warner, who was the second responding officer, he does not mention a sheath at all in his report.
Interesting.
Lastly, in report number 4, Ryan Snyder, he has photographs like photographs 123 through 138. They are in Maddie's room, those photographs, and none of them are the Sheath.
I will say there's also a massive, massive problem with and it shouldn't have been either the person who should have found the knife sheath, given where they're saying it was, should have been the medical examiner. They can't. The officers can't touch the body until the medical examiner gets there.
Well, interesting that you say that, because we have a piece of audio in relation to that exact person or whoever I think it is making a statement on that. But keep going, bud. So this is report number 2. MPD's report. So when we did the supplementary reports, that's what this is right here. This one was put down by, where are we at here? Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to go too far back. Yeah, right here. Ryan Hoxie? No. No. I'm sorry. Okay, so this was supposedly done by Detective Lieutenant Caitlin and Detective Sergeant. Oh, it is Detective Sergeant Hoxie. So, and supplement number 2. Oh, this is ISP. I'm sorry, you guys. I have the wrong one. Anyway, keep going, Dylan. I'll go back and get the other one. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just saying, given that the knife sheath is found under the covers, so depending on which report you read, it's underneath Maddie or it's between Maddie and Kaylee. Depending on, regardless, it was under the it was under the comforter, and the police, unless there is any signs of life, cannot touch the bodies. Period.
Right.
The medical examiner's got to come in and do that. So it would have had to absolutely been the medical examiner that would have had to find it, or we have a serious problem. And it was, Payne. Payne was the one that found it, allegedly.
Well, supposedly, but the
Payne,
way,
Blaker.
yeah, whoever it was, I think it was Officer Smith. I would give it to Smith first, but he says he found it because he saw it through Smith's body cam.
But either way, you wouldn't have been able to see it from the doorway. You wouldn't have, if it was under the comforter, like they say. You wouldn't have been able to see it. I would have. I doubt you'd have even noticed anything under the with it under the covers.
Right.
I mean,
I agree.
This should have been found by the medical examiner.
You got to bear with me, guys. I agree with you. Keep going. I'm having trouble finding my Moscow reports now. Keep going though.
And the fact that you have 3 photos deleted, which anybody with half a brain knows that's a no-no.
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord. I don't know how, other than just pure corruption, the judge just didn't say, this is full of crap, we've got to throw this out. You're done.
Well, if it was any other judge, or if I can use one of Eddie's terms, if it was in a right side up world, you're right, 100%. It would have been thrown out, in my opinion. But as we all know, this didn't go down that way, and I still feel like Judge Hippler was part of the prosecution team, in my opinion, at this point. I mean, I know he wasn't, but just played out as if he was.
I mean, like Birdie said, Moscow, Idaho is the portal to hell.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying. Sorry, you guys. I'm struggling. I have so much stuff in here that I have things buried. I'm struggling finding it. Even though I had it organized, at least I thought. I'll find it though. Don't worry about it.
I have to correct you.
Okay.
You had it right. He was part of the prosecution team.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just wanted to say it without saying it a certain
You can't
type
prove
of
it. Yep, you can't prove it, and it's like one of those things that's hard to say.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go around accusing people.
No, right. Exactly.
But
Tomboy, check Discord real quick, please, ma'am. Go ahead.
How many times have I said it? So like what Dylan just said. I mean, if the likes of you and I, and when I say you, I mean you plural, all of you, everyone here listening, here either now or later, if we can see it, how much more would the judge be able to see it? How much more wisdom and experience does he have than us? That's his job. That's his oath. We're seeing it. We all see it. You know that he's able to see it. You know that he's seeing it, and you know that there's something compelling him. He's not acting of his own volition.
I mean, yeah. If a redneck from BFE who loves racing can pick up that this doesn't add up, there's a problem, and the judge is just whistling past the graveyard.
It goes so far beyond that too. You are absolutely correct.
You know what though? I do have the courage to say it, and I'm saying it because Ann Taylor, she couldn't say it. There's no way she can't. Even though she knows,
of course,
Miss Massa, they know, but they can't say it. So I'm saying it. I'm their voice.
Absolutely, somebody needs to be.
They told him it with their eyes. At some point, you know, they had closed hearings. You know that it was said without words, and he knows that they know.
Right. Docket says so. What you're saying is if God was going to give the world an enema, he'd do it in Idaho. I mean, for lack of better terms, yes, sir. I agree with that wholeheartedly, bro. And yes, Eddie, 100%, guys. This is, I mean, this isn't even in my opinion anymore. And I agree with Eddie. Like, I think we have to be the voice for the defense in this aspect because they can't say stuff like this. Okay. They just can't. How many times do you think I've watched these hearings and wanted to put words into Ann's mouth myself and just say what she wants to say? You can look at her face and see that she wants to say. The hearing I pointed out to you guys last week sometime, I think it was, with John Judge, okay, where she's sitting there, or she stands up and says, like, you can see the frustration, you can hear it in her voice. The hearing where Thompson's throwing his temper tantrum, as always, and she says, Your Honor, there is so much. There's so much. And he says, I understand, and I feel your pain, okay, as if he's acknowledging that he knows. There's so much that she wanted to say, but she can't say it. That's sad to me. So, what's up, Scott?
I mean, Judge, he has an obligation to the Constitution to step up and pretty much say it. And
they all
do
do
something about it.
Yeah, they all do.
I mean, it's just we got.
I'm sorry to say this, and I mean this with all due disrespect. Let me say it that way. Stephen Hippler is not a judge, folks. He did not judge this case. He was a prosecutor, period. Go ahead, Dylan. I didn't mean to interrupt you. That's why, Beth. Once the leak investigation is cleared and his documents are unsealed, then he's doing an interview with Lana. So whenever that happens. Damn it, I cannot find these reports now. Okay.
So, Daigle, you're pulling them up.
Go
Mentioning
ahead,
that
bud.
Lana is Boya, those 3 missing photographs.
She's
Right.
in the 5 before and after. She's trying to, yes.
Yeah. I don't think she'll have any luck.
I told her
She'll
that
get a
too.
letter of rejection.
That's exactly what I think is going to happen. And
It's
I mean,
that
she
she's
doesn't.
trying though.
Yeah,
That or it'll have a 6-figure price tag on it.
that's the other side of it too. And I told her, I said, good luck. I don't think it's going to happen, but
No, it wouldn't have that. And I know you're being sarcastic, but it wouldn't be that.
they're just not going to release it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I feel about it. And they don't have to. They'll probably tell her that, without saying it like that. But we don't have to do this. So sorry. No, we're not going to do that. End of story. If they even respond, they may not even respond, because there have been people that have FOIA'd stuff that hasn't even been responded to, you guys.
Yeah, which is why I think this whole investigation into the leak, it's just going to be open and left alone. That way they can keep as much stuff under wraps as humanly possible.
And I was going to say that too. I think that the leak,
yes.
Yes, I think the leak is going to be an ongoing open investigation that will never be closed out. That's my opinion.
Even though they already know.
Oh, of course. Yes, sir. Of course. Damn it.
Remember when that first started and it was all throughout the mainstream media that Hitler is pissed?
Mm-hmm.
And so many content creators after that, their reaction and then their live stream, they echoed that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That like in that, I wasn't going up in the panels a lot right then, but that really didn't sit well with me, because how easily they are able to influence people and have them echo those talking points and believe, the first ones who said that was Banfield on News Nation.
Mm-hmm.
Also Enton.
Always.
And there was another, and there's maybe more, but a YouTube content creator, Gilter, of course. Won't say who, but I knew, I could see right through it. I'm like, so because they're saying that Hitler is pissed, that actually means that he doesn't care. To say Hitler's pissed, that suggests like he's all about that justice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? He's really pissed. He's going to get to the bottom of this. He keeps a tight court. There's going to be no shenanigans on his watch. He's got it really locked down in there in that courtroom.
Yeah, right. And I feel so stupid, you guys. If you remember the first hearing we watched, that Hitler was, the first one in front of Hitler. I said, I think I'm going to like this guy. I think he's going to be fair. I think he's going to go right down the middle. Yeah, no. I felt pretty dumb there after that. So, just saying. Okay. Thank you, Tomboy. God, I love you. I don't know what the hell happened with this, but
And don't feel too dumb. You can always think back about how the Bears passed on Patrick Mahomes for Mitch Trubisky.
There you go. All right, 1 second. God bless you, Tomboy. I was going nuts. I don't know what I did with that, but I will refile it now. Okay. Finally got there. I would, like I tell you guys all the time, and you hear me say this all the time, that I couldn't do this without these moderators. That's a fact, folks. I couldn't. I shouldn't even try. So here we are. Officer Eric Warner. Okay. Supplement. Oh no, shit. I grabbed the wrong one again. God bless America. What am I doing tonight? Struggling all over the place, you guys. I clicked on 2. Is this the right one? Yeah. Oh, it was number 2. Sorry, it's page 1. I looked at it too quick. Yoy. Sorry. God, I'm an idiot sometimes. Okay. Once again, supplement number 2 from the Moscow reports. There we are. Eric Warner. All right. And what Eddie was stating about this report is it doesn't say anything about a Sheath in here, you guys. You can look through the whole report. Right here, I'll just go to this part right here, okay? On the 3rd floor in the southeast bedroom, I saw 2 clothed females lying on a bed on their backs who appeared deceased. One female on the left side of the bed in relation to the bedroom door had an extreme amount of lacerations to her face and upper body, which made her unrecognizable. The other female had multiple lacerations on her upper body and some blood on her face. I walked to the far side of the bed to determine if the female on the right was beyond help. I saw the female's leg was off the edge of the bed, and it had lividity. Once I noticed the lividity in the female's leg, I backed out of the room. I'll even go to the next one. Officer Nunez and I checked the rest of the 3rd floor and saw it was clear. There was a poodle in the west bedroom of the bed, on the bed, which was later taken to the Humane Society by LSCO. Nothing about a Sheath there. And you would imagine walking into this scene, that would be an important piece of information to add to the report. Okay, just to give you my, for instance, one female to the left side of the bed in relation to the bedroom door had an extreme amount of lacerations to her face, upper body, which made her unrecognizable. In between the 2 females, I did notice a USMC, what seemed to be a U.S. Marine Corps K-bar knife sheath. And then on you go. That's how that should have been added to this if it was there. And I think that's important to say.
Yeah. Also, identify when this report was written up, so to speak.
Okay. So this was November 13th of 22. And it was actually written up July 8th of 25.
Jeez.
July 8th of 25, folks. 3 months ago.
So keep this in mind. If that's the case, then that's not from memory. Those details, about the leg, I mean, it would be hard. That's kind of a stressful situation. It would be hard to later that same day on the 13th, the evening of the 13th, to write that up. You would want to refer to the body cam. I mean, after all, that's what the body cam is for, right? Use that as a tool to help you recall what it was that you saw.
Agreed.
There's a lot of details in that room, unless you're, like Columbo with the pencil and paper.
Yes, sir.
So my point is if however many months longer, and then he's writing this up, he has to be referring to the body cam to be able to say some of those details in there.
Right.
My opinion.
Right. Now, when he supposedly took the report down was November 13th. Okay. That's when he did all this. But then at the top of the page, it says it's got the July date on it. So what did you do? Did you record all the information? Or that's what I don't understand is with these, there's so many of these that it says that, oh shit, hold on a minute. Do I still have it up here? Did I show you guys the date or no? Let me see. It might be underneath here. I'm gonna have to go back to this again. Hold on. Okay, yeah, it is still here. Hold on. All right, so this date here, 7/8 of 25, is what that says at the top. But like I said, it was recorded and taken down on the 13th, it says. But I think these were written or typed out, per se, based on their notes, maybe, or whatever, on July 8th, is what I'm guessing.
Okay, wait. Somebody's
9:43.
in the chat have got more insight into. So
The bottom of the report, he wrote on 11/18 of 22. It was reviewed 11/19.
there you go.
Okay.
Still, that's how many days? You know.
Yeah.
since-
No, I got you. So that July date must be when they printed all this out for this, I guess. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, Friday, November 18th at 7:25, and then it was reviewed and signed off on by Detective Hathaway.
So
MP.
what I said still stands. I mean, that's 5
Yeah.
days after.
Or something like that, yeah.
You would.
And there's a lot of that with this case.
He would likely have referred to the body cam to write some of that up. That's not all from memory.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, wouldn't you want it to be accurate? Wouldn't you want what you're writing to reflect
Yeah.
what it was in the room? Because there is a body cam that exists, your own body cam, right? So you'd want it to match that.
Right.
You wouldn't want to take anything from it or add anything to it.
Yes. Thank you, Dunwan, for clearing that up too, because like I said, there's so many numbers and dates and stuff on here. I was just giving all the dates and numbers on it, so thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate that very much. So the initial report that he wrote down was November 13th at 4:49 p.m. And this was the initial response, clearing home an interview with Hunter Johnson. Really interesting. I was going to go back to that. So we have all of these things here. Okay, now let me go back to something else. We don't need this anymore, but thank you, Tomboy, for finding that. Give me 1 second here. All right, now I'm going to go.
So I'm still kind of unclear as to that July 8th date. Would that suggest that Ann Taylor wouldn't have had that in her discovery until a date after that day?
That's possible.
Or
That's a good question, actually.
Because there wouldn't be a reason for a date to be on there. All they'd have to do is upload it.
Yeah, good point.
And it would have been in the metadata, not printed on there.
Very good point. I agree with that. Okay. Oh wow, I came right to it. Again, we must have been looking at this. Okay. And there's, of course. So this was what is now, Dylan, check the private chat for me real quick, bud. All right, let me get back to the very top here. Exhibit A, statement of Brett Payne. And I'm going to go down to I think it's on page 2 here. And I'll read the whole thing. I then followed OFC Smith upstairs to the 3rd floor of the residence. The 3rd floor consisted of 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. The bedroom on the west side of the floor was later determined to be Kaylee Gonsalves, hereafter Gonsalves' room. I later learned from review of Officer Nunez's body cam that there was a dog in the room when Moscow PD officers initially responded. The dog belonged to Gonsalves and her ex-boyfriend, Jack DeCour. I found out from my interview with Jack Decor on November 13th of 22 that he and Gonzalez shared the dog. OFC Smith then pointed out a small bathroom on the east of the third floor, and this bathroom shared a wall with Mogan. Hereafter, Mogan's bedroom, which was situated on the southeast corner of the third floor. As I entered the bedroom, I could see two females in the single bed in the room. Both Gonsalves and Mogan were deceased with visible stab wounds. And I still question this, okay? I also later noticed what appeared to be a tan leather knife sheath laying on the bed next to Mogan's right side when viewed from the door. I have a couple issues with this statement. I always have. One is that part of it right there. I also later noticed that's always been a problem to me. But here we are back at this again. What appeared to be a tan leather knife sheath laying on the bed next to Mogan's right side when viewed from the door. I don't get this. Okay, I've never got this. We were told from the beginning. Oh, no problem, Meg. Take your time, dear. That it was underneath the comforter and her leg. I don't. And guys, I mean, the doorway to the bed, there it was right there. Okay, when you open the door, you were at the foot of the bed, so it should be right there. And did you flip the blanket up? Did you move her? Did you do something? I mean, that's what I don't understand. For you to be able to see that makes no sense to me. So, and I'm going to play something here in a minute from the 2020 thing that goes right into this too. So there is that. Go ahead.
Yeah, it makes sense to me now. And here's how. Okay, you and I are at this crime scene and we're this thing together. This that we're doing.
Yeah.
We're doing this thing. And so we know that the first responding officers, you know, these guys over here to our left, the ones that we serve with, our buddies, they have already been through, and their body cams don't show it, you know, the sheet.
That's right.
And we are there later that evening, and then one of your other buddies from the ISP possibly put that sheath right where it is, and then you were like by the ping pong table because I told you, hey, just hang out here for just a second.
Right.
Once ISP trooper is done up there, then you can go. Okay. So he's coming down. So you go ahead and go up there and tell me what you see. So there you are. And you're like, oh, lo and behold. So the later is to suggest, well, you know, when I got there, it was there. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you all know the game that each other's playing. You're just doing your own little part of it.
Of course. You know, I'd be curious to know who it was that was in that room for a period of time by themselves at any point in time during this initial investigation. All right, Dylan. Wadeberg, good to see you. Real quick, let me catch up. James Moen again, sir. Good to see you. Scotty Luella, welcome. Good to see you tonight. Just making sure. Joanna Bell. I'm not missing anybody. If I did, I will catch up to you guys. I promise. Angel D, my favorite Aussie. Jilly Bean, good to see you. I don't think I'm missing anybody. Bry guys in the house. Paco Jewel, welcome back, my friend. Yeah, so far, guys, there's been, as we pointed out, no mention of a sheath in multiple places. And then we show you where it is, and the one thing that they said is no longer even matters, that the PCA, it's a joke. Thank you. So I'll check tea time, but thank you so much. Give me 1 second here. In a perfect world, we would get the sheath. Oh, 100%. Welcome, Kat. Good to see you tonight, dear. Appreciate you very much for being here. Yes. Tea time. I do believe that was it. Thank you so much for your donation. God bless. I appreciate that very much. So I'm gonna wait till Dylan pops back in here. He took a break for a quick second. Let me answer this question. Jacob says, we know that Kaylee and Xana fought back, but if it's true that Maddie had injuries to her arms, then does that mean that she fought back because, where else would she have those there? Oh, it's definite that she fought back. I mean, that's evident to me. I think that's probably the reason why she had such horrible wounds, in my opinion. One of the reasons. Siggy and Mike, welcome. Good to see you tonight. D. Smith, again, good to see you. If I didn't say hello yet. If I did, well, it's double great to see you. Payne and Gundy, okay. So this here, guys, was, and I'm only playing this clip because that's all I can play, was a clip from the new 2020 thing that came out. And I must have missed this when I watched it because I didn't catch it. And then we're going to check something else out, too, tonight, as we talk about it. Maddie didn't fight back. That was never stated anywhere. Maddie she still had horrible injuries and wounds, but they were nowhere near as bad as Kaylee's, Ethan's, or Xana's. Hers were the least, amount of injuries as compared to everybody else. And she's the only one that we got DNA from underneath her nails, which is odd to me, but whatever.
I do believe in a later report they said that there was DNA under everybody's fingernails.
Oh, yeah, they did, but they don't give it to us. They broke it down for Maddie, but they won't give us the breakdown on anybody else, which I think is kind of odd.
Because we notice a pattern.
Well, yeah, that, and if they're saying that, if that means that there is none, I don't believe that. There's got to be something there from people hugging and touching and shaking hands or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm going to guarantee you that some of the DNA that was under Maddie's fingernails came from her hugging somebody or whatever, in my opinion. It wasn't just from, you know what I mean? So I would imagine that, especially Xana and Kaylee, there should be all sorts of some form of something underneath their nails. They won't tell us what it is. Yes, that's a good point, Luell. They only give us stuff that doesn't pertain. I like that. All right, so we're going to check this out real quick. I'm glad you're back, Dylan. Hang on here. Oh, wait a minute. Where's the audio at? There we go. I hope that works. No, there's no audio. Oh, shit. Hang on. Why is there no audio? You guys don't hear anything, do you?
I do not hear a thing.
Okay, hold on. 1 second, please. Okay. Give me a minute to try to get this right.
Yeah, my room turned into a hot box, and I had to close all the windows and turn on the AC.
Oh, yeah, I had to do that earlier today. I haven't been running it at all because it's kind of been chillier, but no, it got hot today. Not hot, but quite a bit warmer. It got stuffy in here. All right, who was it that came in here into this morning's show? And I swear I wrote that down. Oh, maybe it's over here. Maybe not.
I was sweating so much you would have thought Hitler was my judge.
There you go. There you go. That's funny. Okay, you guys, I need a little help then. I'm gonna write it down. All right, I thought I wrote it down, but if you could see my notes, Eddie, you'd probably vomit on me, considering how organized your notes are. I have things on the corners, sideways, backwards, upside down, because I'm very I try not to waste paper and use as much of it as I can, and it's so bad.
I'm even better because I don't take notes.
I have to. I take notes on everything. I'm constantly writing. Where did it go? Okay. Are you still in here, Tomboy? Okay.
Guys, if we didn't take notes, we'd forget most of it. And then the way
Yeah.
we remember it wouldn't be accurate, too. We misremember things.
That's 100%. That's why I do it. Now, can I always find my notes? No, but eventually, if you give me some time, like 3 days or so, I'll find the right one. I have notebooks everywhere in this filing cabinet. You got to figure 2.5 years, guys. I've been through, I don't know how many notebooks. It's insane. The big ones and the little ones. So earlier, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I have a really good trigger memory. Once you trigger it, I can go through everything in detail.
I have long-term stuff I can remember. Short-term, forget it. No way. So yeah, it's a struggle sometimes. Great to have you here, Hemisphere. Thank you so much for joining us, bud. All right, guys, let me move this and move on to this next one. Thanks, Tomboy. You're amazing tonight. Okay, that definitely has audio now. Is it going to work? It's not. Okay, the one has audio, but when I download it, it has no audio then, Tomboy. That's so strange. Give me a minute. I might have to do it a different way then. Hold on, guys. I'm going to do this. Yep, that's how I'm going to have to do it. Okay, hold on. All right. So strange, but whatever. All right, let's hear this now. Again, this is from the 2020 episode they had, September 12th, I believe it was.
Hours behind them. But as they walk into Maddie's third floor bedroom, police get their first big break.
The comforter's over, the girls take the comforter off. Lo and behold, there's a knife sheath laying right there.
Okay.
Wait a minute. So they go in. So now they go in there and they just tear off the comforter.
The comforter's over the girls. We take the comforter off, and the knife sheath's right there. So wait a minute. Okay. Let's hear that again, just to make sure that's what we heard.
Lo and behold, there's a knife sheath laying right there. The girls break. The comforter's over, the girls take the comforter off. Lo and behold, there's a knife sheath laying right there.
They find a sheath for a K-bar style.
Take the comforter off. Lo and behold, there's a knife sheath laying right there. The girls take the comforters over, the girls take the comforter off. Lo and behold, there's a knife sheath laying right there.
They find a sheath for a K-bar style knife. There's no murder weapon, but the sheath is there.
And no, that's not That's not it, folks. That's not a photograph of the actual sheath. Okay.
Lo and behold, guys, they got the break they needed. The big break.
Lo and behold, you ain't lying.
The piece of circumstantial evidence with the DNA on it. It's kind of like the screwdriver, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
You see a pattern?
Sure do.
It's kind of like the cigarette butt in Beyond a Reasonable Doubt movie with Michael Douglas.
Exactly.
The cover's over, the girls take the comforter off. Lo and behold, there's a knife sheath laying.
And does anybody know who this guy is specifically? I think he works for ISP. I think. I thought he did, but I can't remember his name.
Right there.
They find a sheath for a Kmart style knife. There's no murder weapon, but the sheath is there. A few hours behind the killer. But as they walk into Maddie's third floor bedroom, police get their first big break.
The comforter's over, the girls take the comforter off. Lo and behold, there's a knife sheath laying right there.
Am I the only one that's a little uncomfortable by how dramatic she made that sound? You're muted, Dago.
Sure am. No, I'm not. Yeah. You're not the only one. I agree with you. That's you have to do it that way, Dylan. That's how you get that narrative driven home. Okay. Just saying. I'm just saying.
I find all these like very odd, just because of how quickly it's come out. These documentaries have come out.
Yeah.
And it's not just this anymore. It's like there was a documentary on the Trump assassination attempt, like weeks after, and it's like, good Lord. Like, yeah, I find it very unsettling that they're on it that quickly.
I agree. I truly do. It's kind of insane to me. I'm just saying. So that's where we're at thus far with this sheet. So again, 9,000 plus pictures, folks. There's no picture. There's 3 pictures that were deleted. I do believe that Lana and I both probably feel, after having that conversation the other day, that those 3 could be it. They're deleted. Now, there's a way to recover those. I think, but I think. Don't quote me. I don't know how that works.
It would depend on if it was taken via iPhone, then it would be in the iCloud. If it was taken via Samsung or Pixel, then it would be in the Google Cloud, most likely.
But with that being said, I can almost promise you that if those were what they were and they wanted to get rid of them, you'll never see them ever. They're gone. They're purposely gone.
I agree. They're gone forever.
Right.
They're not going to have backup on something that they want gone.
No, those are gone. They'll never be seen.
Otherwise, what's the purpose of deleting it? Like,
right. Yeah, they'll never
I
be
delete
seen.
this so you can't have it. And then Ann says, supplemental request of discovery. Oh, okay. Here you go.
Yeah, I accidentally. Well, I made so, and it's funny that they put it in a report to make sure. In fact, give me a second here. Let me find it.
I will say, if it was on an SD card, then whoever the person who deleted those photos needs to be charged with some sort of.
They should be fired and charged. Yes, sir. Like terminated immediately. You don't do that. Not in a criminal investigation. You do not delete anything. Jesus. And then play it off like, oh, well, if that's the case, how many other times have you done stuff like this, sir?
Yeah, that would be obstruction of justice, potentially. And if you really wanted to nail him to the wall with a good enough prosecutor, you could possibly go for aiding and abetting.
Oh my God, yes. I swear to God, I wrote down. Lana gave me. She referred to the report number that it was. I swear I have it in here. Exactly where. I'm trying to find that report number so I can show you something with that. You guys, I'm so sorry. With my organizational skills are not the greatest. Okay. I think it's on this page here. So I did write it down. I swear I did. I swear I did. I swear it, Mom. The dog ate my homework. Where the hell is it? Okay.
I did have a situation where my dog ate my homework.
There it is. I found it. I just had to, deletion report. And that I do believe I have here. ISP number 80. So let me give you that deletion report real quick.
Yeah, if it was on a camera with an SD card, that wasn't an oopsies.
No. And then he said he went back to, well, I'll read it to you here. Hold on. It's too funny to me. It is kind of comical. Because they think that, like, there's stupid people that are looking at this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, nobody's going to know. They're dumb. They don't care. Right, bud. Okay. 76, 77, 78, 79, and number 80. Here we go. I forgot 77 was a big one. It was like 12 pages long, I think. Yeah, quite a few. And boom. All right. So here's the deletion report that was put out about this. Okay. And like I said, I can't tell you that this is 100% for sure what was on these three pictures. Okay. And Tomboy said it was a camera with an SD card. So there you go. 300. Do you remember when Payne told Ann Taylor that he did not save the reports on his computer? I sure do. Many a times that was stated. It's kind of crazy.
Didn't Maury say that as well?
I believe he did. Yeah. There's been quite a few of them statements made. So this was, the reporting date was January 6th of 23, which is interesting. The narrative on this says, on November 13th of 2022 at about 5:40 p.m., I assisted with the processing of a quadruple homicide scene located at 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho. I was assigned by Detective Talbot to photograph the scene. So this guy photographed the whole scene. While photographing the scene, I deleted photos that were completely washed out, expecting the deleted photos serial number to be reassigned to the next photo captured. Now, let me ask you guys something real quick here, okay? This is so stupid to me. If you're a mechanic and you work on cars every day, okay, and you change carburetors, well, new cars, you don't do that anymore, but the old cars, okay, we're up there. We know what that is. You've changed 10,000 carburetors because you're a mechanic. That's your job. You do it every day. And you know that there's a specific type of way to change that carburetor every time you do it. You know all the brands, the types. You know how it's going to work when you fix it, right? So you know that there's certain things that you can't do with the carburetor because you do this every day. You know that there's certain things that don't work on that carburetor if you don't fix it the right way because you do it every day. So I'm pretty sure that this guy does this. This is his job, okay? And I'm hoping. Otherwise, why would you have some rookie come in and take pictures, or somebody does not know what they're doing? But that's my guess. This guy photographs things like this, okay? So he it was expecting the deleted photos serial number to be reassigned to the next photo captured. I don't believe that. If you do this on a regular basis and you've done this before, then you know that that doesn't work that way. I think that is a bullshit excuse to cover the reason why he deleted these. This is my opinion, of course. But you get what I'm saying, you guys, if you do this for a living, this is your job. You've done this time and time and time again. You know that that number reassignment doesn't happen that way. You're saying something to the world because you think that nobody else knows this, and they'll believe whatever the hell you're saying. That's my opinion, of course. So I expected the deleted photo serial number to be reassigned to the next photo captured. The photo serial numbers to continue in sequential order. Later, I was completing the photo log, which is what Lena said she wants to see, and I do too, that log. I discovered that each photo I deleted also deleted the associated serial number instead of reassigning it, causing a gap in the sequential order, i.e. ISP 4639, ISP 4641. So it goes from 39 to 41. Okay. I completed the photo log and included it in the case file. The photos were transferred to MPD department. Moscow Police Department, I'm sorry. So again, I don't believe this.
Yeah, I don't believe anything about it, to include that they were completely washed out. I bet they weren't washed out at all, whatever that
No,
means.
I'm sure they're probably great pictures, to be honest with you. Probably too good.
Too good.
Right. And that statement, you guys, you got to understand what I mean by that. Okay. I expected the number to reassign. He knows that doesn't work that way because this is what he does. It's ridiculous that they expect people to believe these things. So there's that too. Okay. So that's what Lena is foiling.
So which report is this one numbered?
This is number 80.
Okay, thank you.
Right there, guys. And this was Gideon Roberts. I should probably put his name down here too, because this is the deletion report. These are on the ISP reports, by the way. Thank you, James. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, Sean McVay is not going to run a fullback dive on a 4th and 25 just out of nowhere.
Yeah, like nothing half-assed. Just said, don't believe the hype, in the words of the great Flavor Flav. I love it. It can't be. If this is the first crime scene he's ever photographed, well, then shame on them for bringing somebody that has no idea what they're doing in on a quadruple homicide that everything needs to be done perfect. Okay? So there's that, you guys. So at this point, with all these things we've discussed and seen, and I've been telling you guys, yeah, right, yeah, boy. I love it. That's funny. And yeah, that goes wrong with that too. 911 is a joke, ain't it? So me personally, okay, and I don't expect anybody else to feel this way, but I do not believe that. And oh, let me add one more thing to this. So in the James Patterson book, there is I told you guys, and I don't have the exact words on me. I can't find it right now, but there is a segment in that book, a section, a paragraph or so, where I've told you before, Michael Koberger, Brian's father, is at the CVS drugstore, and he runs into Brian's old best friend, Jeremy's mother. That was, for those of you that didn't remember, I think it was Willie's teacher, or somebody Willie knew very well. And her son's name was Jeremy. He had passed away. And so Michael Koberger sees her, and I can't think of her first name, but he says, such and such, is that you? Oh, yes. Hey, Michael, how are you? I'm so sorry to hear what you guys are going through. How's Marianne? So on and so forth. Well, and he says, well, she's kind of staying in the house, not going out much. I'm the one that goes out and does everything, so on and so forth. And she goes, yeah, I understand. And he was like, I'm so sorry to hear about Jeremy, because Jeremy had passed away from a drug overdose. And then she says, this is just so horrible. And he goes, the next statement he makes is, you do know Brian didn't do this, right? She goes, the Brian I know wouldn't do this. And he says, yeah, that house was a bad drug house. The knife sheath was not there when they said it was. That came later or something like that. Don't quote me, because like I said, I don't know the exact words, but it was in that realm of conversation. So he himself, the guy that's sitting in prison's father, said that the sheath was not there as they stated that it was. No problem, Sticky. Take your time, hon. So again, now how he knows this, I don't know. Is it something he was told, something he read? Is it just something he believes? But he's making a clarified statement to this woman. So he obviously doesn't believe it either. Okay, I'll put it that way. And there's got to be a reason for that. And it's not just to defend his son, I don't think. Okay, so we got James is singing the name song. All right. So I just wanted to make sure that was thrown in there too. So we have so many different reasons, you guys, at this point to not believe in this damn sheath. It's like a fairy tale, in my opinion. So, not to mention, how did they get the DNA off the sheath? Well, they say they swabbed it with a buccal swab, and then they put it into whatever, a vial. And we all know that the chain of custody for that is a joke. Like Lana was saying the other day, it took 3 people to take this to Othram, which makes no sense. Okay. And that was it. And that's how they tested this. That's how they got the DNA tested, to find out that it was Brian Koberger's. They didn't send a sheath. Why didn't you send a sheath? Why didn't you send the object? Because truly, there was other DNA on this that could have been tested, in my opinion, so you should have sent the whole thing. But you didn't. You sent a swab in a vial to Texas from Idaho, handed off between 3 different people, and you came up with this. I don't believe this. And again, does either one of you two have any issues with what I just stated, or anything to add to that?
No, not really.
I might have been born in the morning, but I wasn't born this morning.
I mean, does it okay, let me ask it this way. Is what I'm saying, does it sound like I'm being ridiculous about it, or does it make sense? The issues with it, I should say.
I think we all have the same issues.
Gotcha.
I mean, the only reason that I can come up with on why they would send a swab instead of the whole thing is because of the blood on the back of the knife sheath. They didn't want that tested.
Okay, well, that's a good point. But there again, all you'd have to say is don't test this. You know what I mean? Just test that. But okay.
Well, then you got questions in Texas getting raised of why are we testing that instead of just testing everything? And that would have been brought up in the documents as well.
It should have been, yeah. And I agree with you.
And that would have caused a whole different tizzy.
What date did they send this swab? Eddie, do you remember that by chance, the exact date?
Of which one?
When they sent the swab to Texas? The whole chain of custody and the travel of the DNA thing to Othram. I know I read it, but I can't remember which document it was in.
I'll try to find it here.
Good point. Cat Lady says because they didn't need or want to know who else was on the sheath just to snap. That's an interesting way to look at it. Busy says, I think they to 11:22.
Othram. So what was your question again? I got to make sure I understand your question.
The date that they sent the swab to Othram.
Okay, Othram received the DNA on the 22nd of November.
There you go.
Now that is from page 99 of the the transcript from the sealed hearing.
That's right. That's right. Yes, ma'am. Nothing half-assed. It's a good question, though. Very good question. Yes, I agree, Vivian. I do agree. And I can pull that document. I have that document. If you want me to pull that up to read through it, I absolutely can. You guys just tell me. But that's the date that it stated, 11/22, the day before my birthday. Actually, that's Brian's birthday, I think it is. Isn't it 11/22? November 22nd, I think. Is the date that they sent it to Othram. And it had already gone through, if I'm correct on this, because like I said, guys, I have so much stuff in my head over this case. They had already tried running it through their lab and got nothing off of this before that, correct? So
Yeah, they sent it off, and then they were able to double it in size, and then they were
9 days.
They were able to get positive test on Koberger.
And do they list a date when it was resulted? That's another good question. It's in the Blaker report. Looking at Blaker carried it. Like I said, my memory short-term stuff is not great. That's both great statements there. Yeah, I want to figure out when they did resulted. That's a good point. Oh, Brian's birthday's the 21st. Okay, I thought it was close to that.
Yeah, if anybody in the chat could
if anybody,
share with us if you know or have available the information about where we can find when it
was resulted, yes.
Yeah.
Please, that's a good point. No, I understood, Joanna. I have it too, and I know it's in here. I just don't remember exactly which document it was on. Yeah, dates are the worst thing for me. While we're thinking about that and trying to find that possibly, earlier today, one of you guys came in here and told me that there was a newer channel that came out that had something on it. I think her first name was Courtney. Can somebody finish that for me? Or if that's not right, give me the right name of that channel. Because I was trying to find this earlier after the show, and I completely lost, like I said, bad short-term memory. And I didn't write it down at that point like I always do. That was stupid. Othram got it on the 23rd. It was sent out on the 22nd. Got on the 23rd. 24th took them 48 hours. So it was resulted by the 24th. Okay. But let me go look. Thank you, Tomboy. You're on point tonight. 48 hours. I question that too. Considering that the Idaho State Lab couldn't do anything with it and got nothing out of it, it took them 48 hours to do that little magic trick they did with it.
I'm just curious, not to put you on the spot, Tomboy, but what is the source of that?
I think that's why she's going to look to make sure. That's per Othram, though. Well, yeah, there you go. That is that. Now, is that according to... Yeah, that's according to Othram. Not anybody else. So you got to wonder.
Because now I kind of want to read that
Uh-huh.
transcript from the sealed hearing just to Because it's just a note. It doesn't, I don't like dictate what the transcript says. It's just a note on what page about receiving the DNA on the 22nd.
Hold on 1 second. I do have that available. 1 second. Because I had that.
To read the entire, thing
Right.
that the transcript says. That just, you'd refer yourself to that page number, and then you'd read that page on the transcript. Okay, so it's on the bottom of the page, 99.
Yes, sir. I'm almost there. Here we go. Okay. Oh, let me read. I'll just read the whole thing. It's not very big. With my discussions with David, that wasn't possible. With the data that he had at that point, it was impossible. That was not possible. Correct. Thank you. I do not believe that was attempted. Again, I'm not familiar with the technology that he would have had to have used to do such a thing. So I'm not aware if that was possible. If the technology didn't exist, I just don't know. Okay. At some point, did Othram talk to you about the work they were doing? Yes. And did they have a recommendation? They did. They had at least one recommendation, I remember. When was that conversation? I don't remember exactly when that conversation happened, of course. Well, let's put it between, when did they get the DNA to start with? So they got the DNA November 22nd, I do believe. And when were they notified to stop work? I believe the official notification was on December 10th, if I remember correctly. So when they came back to you with some recommendations, where was that in relation to stop work? Probably early December, I'm guessing. The actual work, the laboratory, what I would call the wet work in the lab, would be the first couple weeks. So it doesn't say 48 hours. It says, but that doesn't say when they got results on that. Is that in here? Do you remember? I don't.
No, so what you were reading right there was what my notes referred to,
right,
regarding the question, when did Othram receive the DNA?
Which was the 22nd.
Yeah, which is the 22nd.
I'm just trying to figure out exactly when they resulted from that. It says they were told to stop work December 10th, but
right.
Did they have the result before that, or is that because I don't think that's when they got the results? '93. All right, let me move down to that one too. Then that's why we do this stuff, you guys. We learn, we relearn, we break things down, and that's what it's all about. Essentially, we were oh shoot! Hold on 1 second, you guys. Hold the club for me, you two. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'm going to scroll back in the chat and see if I can identify the question that was being asked, because I even forget what we're looking for anymore. Something about when the results or when it was resolved.
One of the things that I like to do in pretty much any situation is strip it all down to the where
Bare metal.
the bare minimum of this entire case. And does it make sense? And obviously with this one, it doesn't. You have 4 people killed in their beds with 2 surviving roommates who waited 8 hours to call 911. Every other case to ever happen, those 2 are down in the station having to ask real tough questions, having to answer real tough questions.
Yeah, I agree. It's like I remember a channel, Subconscious Mouth. I always refer to this too. What you were saying kind of reminded me of what he always tried to impress, on his listeners, is when you take what we know and you strip it all down to the bare metal. What do we know as fact in this case? At that time, so many people were running with these leaks by sources, right? And everybody took those leaks by sources and ran with it as fact. And it's like cat herding. People went in so many different directions, and it's like out of control. And that's how he stuck with me, because what do you believe is a fact, and what is your source for that? It's come to the point where you can't, even some of the things that we're using as our facts, which is like, stuff like the court record, the PCA. You can't even do that unless it's by the defense. You can't, if it's from the state, you can't take it as a fact. Matter of fact, if it's by the state, it's better than good chance that it's going to be.
I think the documentation is more circumstantial than the actual evidence per se. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Agreed. God, Subconscious Mouth. I miss him. Whatever happened to him? I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, he was so good.
He was. He had a great channel. I loved it. This document. This is the closed hearing. Transcript from the closed hearing from. Oh Jesus, you guys! I just went blank. I have it listed here. I'll get it in a second. I'm sorry. Anyway, page 93 was requested, and it says right here, essentially, we were transferring ownership of anything on this case between them and Moscow Police Department, and the prosecutor's office. The report that you ended up receiving from them, are you aware that report doesn't provide details of how they did their work? They said, I have seen the report, and yes, I have seen what was in the report. So would you agree that what's in the report is far different than the Idaho State Police Forensics Lab produces by way of notes and photographs in connection with its work? We were not provided with analytical notes. We were not provided with data, to my knowledge. We were provided with what was identified to me as a preliminary report, which contains some of their genealogical work on the case and other things, such as potential nationalities. Is that different than what you produce when you produce a report at your lab? It's hard for me to answer that question because it's a different report. It's a different type of analysis, and so I can't make a qualification there. I can tell you in our DNA reports we released the report. We released the analyst notes as a general practice. We have the electronic data and other things available for disclosure. But that's our general practice. And I can't speak to the process as Othram Labs and what they disclose, nor can I speak to what is normal for a release in a FIG case. Are you familiar with how you come up with an SMP? We did all this not too long ago. That process where you get from DNA sample to SMP, in general, yes, but I'm not qualified analysis. So basically up here it states They got nothing on this. They weren't given like any work on this. So does that include how long it took? Welcome, Terry. Good to see you tonight, hon. If Payne said he could see the sheath from the hallway, wouldn't his body cam have seen? Well, I would think so. Or did he not have a body cam on?
It wasn't on. There's no body cam. My opinion, but I
agree with you though.
I'm firm on that. There's no way.
I do agree. Great to see you, Good Trouble. I don't think Payne was wearing a body cam, first off, at all, because he's a detective for one. Not saying that that's good reason, but I'm just saying. And I don't think that there is a body cam video that shows a knife sheath in it. I'm just telling you. I don't care whose it is. Whether it's Nunez, Smith, Gunderson, Payne, I don't think there is one. And I think that was done on purpose.
Something tells me that it's just going to be the first responding officers.
Which was good. Even there, though, Eddie. I won't be surprised if it ever gets... So hold on, Dylan. I'm sorry, bud. I won't be surprised if it ever gets requested to see that body cam video of all of that Nunez put out there. That if they say, well, he didn't record because it was such a dramatic scene, or the camera stuck, or something happened. I guarantee you that's going to be an example of what's going to happen. Go ahead, bud. Jennifer Meineke, welcome, hon.
Yeah, I was just going to say Gunderson's was off, and I think the other responding officer, I don't remember who it was, his was off too. Nunez was the only one that was on.
Well, Gunderson was on when they were standing at the road when Nunez was doing the statement. You could see it blinking, but I don't know if it was on in the house. That's what I'm saying. I don't remember seeing it blink then. Go ahead.
Yeah, but if anything from this case, everybody and their cousin, whether it's police, whether it's detective, crime lab, you gotta have a camera. Nothing can be trusted.
Well, that's just as dumb as hearing that when they arrested Brian, they swatted his house. Basically, they kicked in the doors and the windows and jumped. Every time I hear about this story, I imagine, if anybody has ever seen National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, when they jumped through all the windows and bust in the house. That's what I imagine seeing. It kind of sounds like what they did, but somebody supposedly wasn't wearing, there was no body cam. I don't believe that. I just don't. Yeah, Gunderson did not have gloves on. That's true. Okay, so hold on. Gunderson's was on in the house. You can see. Okay, you saw it. Good. I didn't see that one. I don't remember that, but I remember seeing it outside. So if he's got one, then. Oh, thank you, Fizzy. Hold on. Let me pull real quick and look.
You all know why.
Go ahead.
You all know why they swatted the house in Pennsylvania, right?
Well, they had to make it look good, yeah.
Yeah. The answer is because they knew that he didn't do it. If that makes sense to you, then
it does. It does. No, it does.
If that clicks, then you're tracking. You understand.
Yeah, because it could have been so very simple to say, hey, Brian, this is such and such, Detective Payne from Moscow PD. Can you come down to the station? We just have a couple questions for you. Would you mind doing that? Brian Koberger would have went to the station. I can promise you that. Almost guarantee that, okay? And they would have done what they had to do, and it would have been done and over with just like that. They didn't have to let him drive cross country and kick in the windows and doors of his parents' house to do this. That was all for appearance, folks. And I agree with what Eddie said, because they knew it wasn't him, and they had to make this look good, in my opinion. That's truly how I feel about that.
Yeah, and someone like Brian, he gets a phone call from the police saying, hey, we need you to come down and ask a couple questions. He's more than likely going to believe, oh, I'm from the area. They're enlisting my help. They know I'm a criminology student. They know I'm the top of my class. Yeah, they want my help. That would be his thought process. I've seen that. I've seen something like that before on a crime show, a true crime show.
Right.
I forgot what it was called, but this guy thought that he was going in to answer questions and help with the investigation
Oh, you mean like Delphi with Richard Allen? Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't looked at any of the Delphi stuff, but this was on some true crime show. But
Yeah, good insight.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, he went in thinking, oh, they want my help, and they're like, he's answering questions, and he got too many of them right.
Basically, what they did with Richard Allen. Exactly, actually, what they did. Yeah, that's what we were on that document we read. It says viewed from the door later on or at a later date or later. What did it say, Eddie? At a later time or something like that. He saw.
Later noticed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I also later noticed.
There you go.
I wonder if he would have actually finished that sentence honestly after Gunderson put it under the comforter.
That'd be nice. Way nice. So, let me catch up with chat here real fast. You know, I remember it. You're right. Sorry, Tomboy. Like I said, my short-term memory is horrible. Yeah, he did. You're right, Meineke. Gilbertson is the one that stated it was found underneath her leg. One report says Sheath on the right of Maddie. One report, really? I know if it was to the right, based on the way they were laying, it would be in between the two girls. That would be her right leg, laying in the bed that way. So if it was on the left, it would be on the outside of the bed to the edge. Okay. The way, hey, Donna, good to see you tonight, dear.
Yeah, I've seen it was found next to Maddie. It was found under Maddie. Like,
we've seen it was laying right there on the bed, right next to her. You know what I mean?
It was on the comforter, under the comforter. I mean, this thing's elusive.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned something tonight, though, and that is with the 2020 documentary or whatever to refer to it as.
Right.
You know, kind of like a Freudian slip. So when they're talking about how it was under the covers had to be removed in order for them to be able to discover it, so to speak. That's true. That's like a Freudian slip. It was, and the reason why it had to be like that is because Officer Nunez's body cam wouldn't show it. Of course, it's redacted. They have the big black box in the way, so we can't see into the room. But even if it did, it wouldn't show any Sheath in that body cam. So at a later time, so Payne shows up at whatever time, and whatever time he's referring to, that's after it's been placed there.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was about to say. What I'm going to say now, I'm saying this because I don't have any proof. None of us do. This is purely alleged, 100% speculation, okay? But here's my guess. They were covered up with the comforter. I do not believe they were covered up when Nunez got there, okay? So I think it's convenient because I believe that it would have been stated in Nunez's report, the initial report, that he saw that Sheath. Okay, but it didn't come out until Payne put it out. So whoever went in that room, in my opinion, and laid that Sheath down and covered it up is the person that knows all of this, in my opinion. Good to see you, Robert. Thank you for joining me, brother. I hope you're doing well. Anyone think that maybe their plan was to plant the Sheath during one of the traffic stops during his trip to PA? I thought better one. Oh, that's interesting.
Dago, you're right, though. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Oh, no, you don't. What's up?
That hadn't even crossed my mind until you just said that. Here, all along, I'm thinking that the comforter would have been an authentic component to that
right
scene, and in order for it to work for them, they had to take the comforter, which was already there. Of course, partially. She's not going to be totally covered up with it, but
No.
but in order for it to work, they had to put it underneath it. Well, but here you are, and I think you might be right. But that thought hadn't even crossed my mind until just now when you said it.
Believe me, dude, I've been around in circles with this for years, and yeah. Especially after hearing what I heard on the 2020 thing, I just sat here and I went, wait a minute. Because that guy was somebody with the medical examiner's office, I believe. I don't believe he was like a detective or anything. I think he was with the medical examiner's office. If I remember correctly, I remember watching this, and his name does pop up on here, and it says what he does. I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong, correct me, but I think that is what happened, and that's where he's from. I think he's part of that group of people, I think. So at that point, it like the scene was set, okay? And there it is. Let's let him find this. And then they put it in the report, and it all just works its way out. You know what I'm saying? That's how I envision this, is all I'm saying. I could be wrong. I'm just saying that's what I'm envisioning at this point because of what we know now.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dylan. No, I can hold my thought.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and if the comforter does cover them up, or versus it not covering them up, that changes the psychological profile of the person.
Well, you can take it that way. You're right, 100%. That's absolutely correct. If that's the way it was made to be, or bear with me, because law enforcement can say, well, we were trying to be respectful, so we covered them up. And they can pull that either way. If it was true or not true, they could pull that off because nobody knows except for the person that walked in there. Okay. Either way, it can be given. Yeah, because you're 100% right. A profiler would look at that and go, well, this person has some care. They cared about something. That doesn't match. Okay. It just, if you know what Kaylee's face looked like, what we've been told, that doesn't match at all. There was no part of that in their profile. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, it would go towards absolute rage and then instant regret.
Well, I guess, yeah, that could work too, depending on. Yeah, that does make some sense. So good point. Bria, I hope I'm saying that right. So, but thank you so much. Gifted 5 memberships, and it looks like Claire S. woke up in 1984. Kaya Moon, Fox Rooter, and Higgy 420 received a new membership. Welcome to the sauce, you guys. Congratulations. And that was so very generous of you, Bria. Thank you so much. God bless. Absolutely awesome. Oh, Lord. And Phil is in the house tonight. Phil, I missed you so much. We need to talk, by the way. It's been a while. Great to see you, Phil. And thank you so much for that, my friend. Nothing half-assed, says Donna. Oh, sorry. Dropped 5 more memberships. That's amazing. Looks like MJ received one. Widby Gal. Alicia J. Sam Panther. And Smiling Suits received. So we got 10 new meatballs jumping into sauce. Thank you so much, Phil. God bless. I adore you. I appreciate that so very much. You guys are amazing. Great to see you back in the house, Phil. Missed you so very much. Yeah, it could be. Like I said, guys, I'm torn on. I've really been bouncing it around in my head, and I'm struggling with it so bad. Welcome, Mary. Great to see you tonight. Again, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Was Kaylee the target, or was Kaylee one of 5 targets? Okay, but I'll never believe, and you're not going to tell me that it's true, that the house was the target and it was just randomly picked and there was no premeditation, none of that. I'm sorry, but no, not at all. Not even close. And that was Bill Thompson's last statement on this. He could have picked it right before he did it. And the 2 lead detectives said, yeah, we don't know who the target was. He just picked the house. We don't know why. Shut up and sit down, because that's bullshit. They know who the target or targets are just as much as they know who actually committed this crime, in my opinion.
They would have known who committed the crime before They sent out the vandal alert.
Yeah, I do agree. That isn't victim shaming at all, in my opinion. What are you talking about? Somebody say there was nothing? I hope nobody sees it that way. Oh, no, you're right. And that's not victim. Listen, tea time. Don't you worry about that in here. I'm going to tell you right now. Here's why. And this is my channel, so I can say this. And anybody that doesn't like it, I'm sorry. I do not see the two roommates as victims. I don't. I never have. Okay. I initially said that I believe that Dylan and Bethany were victims of the circumstance, not the crime, because they're still alive, or the situation. I do not even believe that anymore. Okay. I do not believe that at all. I think if anything, they're victims of themselves. I'll put it there. They're not victims of this crime, in my opinion. And I don't like that being stated because I do not believe that. So you can say whatever you want to say when it comes to that, because it's definitely not victim shaming to ask questions about a bunch of bullshit that we've been given and fed for 3 years that is not true. So you don't worry about that, dear. You say whatever you got to say in here, please. Yeah, far from victims, James, 100%. If anything, I'm going to call suspects to some aspect, okay? Definitely not victims, and I don't even believe witnesses at this point.
Definitely people of interest.
Thank you. Like I said, if it was you, me, and Eddie, or you, me, or Eddie, we'd have been detained, handcuffed, and taken to the station immediately. End of story. And you know that's correct. Accomplices could be, James. Another good way to put it. 100%. Thank you, Tomboy. Tomboy has been hammering away tonight. Miss Tandy as well. Yes, thank you guys so much for those memberships. That's so very amazing. I appreciate you guys so much. And again, anybody real quick that has donated anything towards the channel, besides any of that, guys, so amazing. God bless. We appreciate you so much. Oh, they did. They absolutely did, Tea Time. And take it back to November 14th, November 15th, when we were told they didn't hear anything. They heard a little muffle and a little sniffle and a dog. That's what we were told they heard. Nothing. Today, where we know they heard absolutely everything. Dylan herself stated, you hear everything in this house, which I told you guys 3 years ago. There's no way she didn't hear this. This house is made out of cardboard. There's no carpeting. There's no sound or noise insulators in that house. You heard it all. The bedroom is above yours. You're lying. Why are you lying? Why have you been lying from day one about this? What are you lying for? What are you covering up? What are you afraid of? If you're afraid of something, tell the truth and tell them why. Tell somebody what you're afraid of and make it right. And if it's not fear, then shame on you. That's all I'm saying.
I will say I will give Dylan a little bit of slack, because what she said and what MPD has written down could very well be two different things. And we've already seen it in the body cam, and we've seen it again with Bethany in the one-on-one interview. So I'm willing
to that extreme. I'll give you that. Yeah,
I'm willing to back up a little bit on her, but definitely not off the hook. I want to see all of Dylan's interviews. I want to hear it. I want to see all of Bethany's interviews. I want to hear it. And also with Jack D and Jack Showalter. I want to hear, and Hunter, I want to hear the whole crew.
Oh, yeah, I want to hear them all. Everybody that was around that house, every one of them.
And I will also say in the body cam footage, the lack of urgency with Nunez was telling. Because at that point, all he knows is somebody's down and somebody's down and unconscious, and it could be a myriad of reasons why. And he took his sweet time.
Good point. Typically I don't think she ever did say that. I think they fed that into that. That's my opinion. I think they fed that into her statement. Truly. I agree. I definitely think that there is some form of fear that Bethany has. I can't give you exactly what she's afraid of, but I do believe that there's a fear there. Now, do I think that Dylan has it? I don't think so. Not as much.
And Vivian makes a good point. The blood on Dylan's blanket and the pink
Uh-huh.
jacket, and the cops never questioned that. I mean, simple logic says you test that, and if that comes back as anybody other than, well, even if it comes back as Dylan's, we need an explanation on that. Whether it was just that time for her or something far more nefarious.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. Listen, I said it in the beginning of the show, Tomboy. I am going to do that because Moscow PD is not these three officers that have passed. And like I said, they're not all bad folks. And even I don't wish this on anybody, good or bad. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to do that. I was planning on doing that, but yeah, we can do that. We can do it right now, guys. If we want to, if you will, not type in the chat, and just if we can take a moment of silence for these three officers that lost their lives tonight in York County, Pennsylvania. I don't absolutely know what happened yet, folks, but they have families and they're no longer with us, and they were serving to that county, the state, all of that, folks. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause, and we can do that now. Thank you, everybody. It's a very horrible situation. Again, it's a very dangerous job. You never know what's going to happen from one day to the next. But nothing but thoughts and prayers for their families and themselves, of course, and any law enforcement officer that puts themselves in that danger every single day. It's a horrible thing. And yeah, Jesse, I will be continuously covering the Charlie Kirk stuff. I'll be back with it in the morning tomorrow at some point, or early afternoon at least. But yeah, there's a lot with that too. But this tonight, it's been driving me nuts about this Sheath. Okay, it doesn't match to me. It doesn't fit, and it doesn't make any sense. And me personally, like I said, I'm there with Eddie. I believe there is a Sheath.
Yeah.
But I do not believe any way, shape, or form the story they told about the Sheath. I'll just put it that way.
I think we're all pretty much in concert, in agreement that there is a Sheath, and it just arrived much later.
Wait.
Sometime, before Payne noticed it at a later time.
And I would be curious. I'll be honest with you, because I'm telling you, with everything that we've seen and heard, I'd be curious to see if there was a Sheath. I'm saying I believe there was. If it still exists. And I know that's a reach. It sounds crazy to some extent, but I'm curious if it still could exist. Because there's been so many stupid things that have happened. That this happened accidentally, that happened, oh, just conveniently this happened. And I would not be shocked nor surprised if all of a sudden it came out that it was lost. It disappeared. We can't find it. Something like that. Because I'm telling you, there's going to be a request for this Sheath to be shown, to appear at some point. There really is. There truly is going to be, it's going to be almost mandated. and demanded by people, in my opinion. And I'm curious to see what happens with it.
It has
really
to. It has to exist because by Jay Logston, saying that it was placed. That tells us that the defense has the discovery and they are able to see that there is a sheath. So physically one exists, but they know that it's not an authentic component in the crime scene.
No, I do agree. But what I'm saying at this point is there's been so many mishaps, where there was a fire, there was the refrigerator was left open, that I would not be shocked if something were to come down the road and happen to it just conveniently. You know what I mean?
Okay, I see.
That's what I mean by it. But I agree with you. It has to have been there at some point. Now, is it still there? That's my question. And I'm only saying that because of things that I've seen, If somebody lies to you 3 times, the 4th time, it's going to be a struggle to believe that, what they're saying. You know what I mean?
Well, one lie is enough to question all truths.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like that too. Absolutely. So, like I said, at some point, I do believe it's going to be demanded that this thing is provided. We want to see this thing. I mean, I know we all do. We've been asking for it. Like I said, 9,000 pictures, folks. Not one thing that looks anything like a sheath. And then, again, we have 3 photographs that are conveniently deleted. And a whole bunch of bullshit that goes along with that, because what he stated in there makes no sense for somebody that does this for a living.
Well, let's just take that thought to the next level. Let's just all concede that it does exist. Like Jay Logston says. I mean,
right.
There is one, but they know that it was placed there. Okay. So the fact that it exists, we already know that. And then taking this thought to the next level would be look at the type of circumstantial evidence that it is. It's just very little better. It's just a little bit more clever than the cliche cigarette butt like we see in the movies.
Yes, of course.
Or this now it's a screwdriver.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, do you see a pattern?
Oh, of course I do. Of course I do.
How clever to put the sheath. Notice, it's not the weapon itself.
No.
We don't even know if the sheath goes to the weapon that was used. Of course, we've been saying that for over 2 years. We don't need to drive that one home, but just saying.
Right.
So the sheath exists, but what do you do with that? It means nothing still. When you consider what it is, what does that have to do with anything?
Mm-hmm.
Other than it looks a little bit less suspicious in this crime scene than that cliche cigarette butt. That's it.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. I do absolutely agree with you. Absolutely. Okay, I'm just reading up on something here.
And what's also wild with the body cam is they let Hunter run around the crime scene with a knife. Like,
yeah, that's quite interesting. I mean, you can't look at that in any other way. It's just insane.
I mean, you walk in, you see 2 people stabbed to death, and you have a guy running around with a steak knife.
Yeah, it should have been questioned immediately. By the way, I don't know if you guys heard me in the chat. Does anybody remember that new channel that you guys were telling me about this morning? Anybody at all? If anybody was here this morning, or the person that said it, I can't remember, and I didn't write it down. I'm sorry.
I don't remember.
I can't. I swear the name was Courtney something. I'm probably wrong though. And I also, speaking of Candace Owens, I heard that she was going to be looking into the Idaho 4 case too, and putting things out. So I'm curious to see if that happens.
I think that got put on the back burner when Frank is suing the crap out of her.
Yeah, I've seen quite a bit. That's it. Bingo. Thank you, William Tardy. Good to see you tonight, my friend. That's it. I'm curious to see what this is about. Nicole Casey, that's the new channel. Okay. Hang on here a minute. So what is this video we're talking about here? Is that the one? No, it wasn't Candace Siggy. It was a newer channel. They were talking about this morning something that had to do with Ethan and Xana. And I am absolutely not finding it. I found her channel if it's the same person, but it doesn't look like there's anything about Idaho on here at all. So maybe not. Chad T, hello and welcome, my friend. All right, don't work too hard, William. Thank you for joining us. It's then I don't have the right one. I found somebody called Nicole Casey, and there's a bunch of different videos on here. Justice for Nicole, Part 2 Hidden, 1800 Spat. It's a bunch of different stuff. So I guess that wouldn't be it. Maybe that's not the right name.
Dago, while you're looking that up, I'm going to take this time to thank you once again for having me up and
of course.
to share my thoughts with everybody.
Thank you.
My phone is probably at this point where it's overheating, so I'll jump out and watch the rest of the chat. And thanks again for having me up.
Every time, anytime.
Dylan and chat, it was nice being with you tonight.
It's always a blast.
Yeah, very much appreciated, Eddie. Thank you again, brother. All right. Oh, that is it, but it's the same person. Okay. So I'm curious what this is. Okay. I don't know. So this is just a quick review, I guess. It's a 16-minute video. The creator's name is Nicole Casey. I'm going to put her link in the chat for you guys because I wasn't sure about this, but we'll see what this is real quick. So you were right, William. It looks like one specific. So let's see what this is real fast, you guys. And if it's anything of any substance, of course, but I appreciate anything anybody does on this case, and I'm curious about all of it.
What if the fate of an entire town was dependent upon one single entity? What if the surviving roommates' confusion was orchestrated and deliberate? What if the real suspects were released way too early?
Thank you, Bunny. I appreciate the warning. Bobby X, good to see you, my friend. So yeah, AI voice warning, folks. I didn't realize. So let me put this up here just in case nobody's getting it, and we'll go from there.
What if the 4chan posts are real and in fact what really happened? What if I could prove to you that the timeline of 4 a.m. as well as the order of MKXE is not correct? And what if I could prove to you that Xana and Ethan were attacked first and that multiple people witnessed Ethan and Xana's attack? Would you believe me? Or would you have to hear it for yourself? I'm fully aware of Brian pleading guilty to escape the death penalty. However, anyone that's interested in this case, I highly advise you listen to the entirety of this video. I'm going to start you out with 1 solid minute of audio.
Trigger warning. This video includes sensitive and violent content that may not be suitable for all viewers. This video is for 18 plus only. Trigger warning. This video includes sensitive and
I'm not 100% sure what we're going to hear, so that's why I threw that up there real quick.
That we've all heard before. I'm going to play it for you with only telling you to keep in mind just how high-pitched females' voices can get, what females sound like when they're hyperventilating or struggling, and all the different sounds and squeals and squeaks that females can make. Also keep in mind how Dylan said she heard someone say, "I'm here to help you." Within just that minute alone is some of the most compelling and damning evidence that we need for this case. Now I'm going to replay that minute, but I'm going to slow it down a tiny bit, and then on the screen I'm going to point out to you what I hear and when I hear it. So you'll see words on the screen of what I hear at the time that I'm hearing it. So the part that screams Xana, I'm pretty sure is Ethan. And the part that screams Ethan twice, I'm pretty sure is Xana. And I'm also positive that the girl who's crying, "David, please don't do this to me," is also Xana. At the same time that Xana says, "David, please don't do this to me," right when she says please, there's another girl that's heard that says, "Who? Xana?" So it's kind of layered over each other, but go back and listen to that as many times as you need, because trust me, I will bet my ever-living soul that that is exactly what we were hearing. Izana being attacked, and Ethan being either restrained or prevented from getting to where Zana is. And it's not inside of that house. It's outside.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys, but I'm struggling with this a lot, truly. Um, like I told you guys, if I'm going to believe in this, I agree with you, Eddie, and 300. If I'm gonna go with this, you're gonna give me, you're gonna have to give me the raw, absolute, original copy of this, and let me listen to it myself without anybody else touching it. That's all I can say. I'm not saying it's not real. I'm not saying it's not true. You know, and I commend her for the work she put into this, but I need to get the raw original copy of this and listen to this myself. That's all. No disrespect intended. And suggestive hearing is a thing. We can hear anything, and you put words on the screen, we're going to hear it, guys. That's just part of what it is. So, and we've already watched something like this. We were picking out sounds, and I said, then I need to get the copy of this. If I can FOIA the actual, and Twiz said that he's going to FOIA all of this stuff if we can get it, and then I'll listen to it and see what I get out of it, and so will many other people. In fact, if we get the original copy, I want Outcast to see if he can clean it up and then listen to it. And I want to hear it before that too, just to see if anything pops. But what's up, Dylan? How are you tonight, brother?
Good evening, Dago.
Good to see you.
What are we talking about here?
Well, we were talking about the Sheath earlier. And we're closing things out now. But there was somebody had told me about earlier in my morning show that there was a new video out with the newer creator, and that had I heard it yet, and I hadn't, so we were just checking it out. True Crime X, welcome.
Well, I'll tell you this, Dago. I do agree with you that you do need to get a untouched video, right? We need to get that directly from the source, but our lovely members at the city of Moscow are keeping that under wraps, and our lovely girl Mia, she's the one that's stopping us. But with that being said, I don't want you to completely shy away from the concept of something happening around this time on the video.
No. I don't at all, my friend. Listen. Yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay. I caught the last tail end of that little spiel, and I agree with everything you have to say. But this does go in line with the theory that the murders happened at two separate times, and that the second set of murders potentially was as a result of just possibly walking into the events that were happening at 117, I think was the last time on that video. Is that correct?
I believe so, yeah. And like I said, when I first got the other video that we went through last week, sure, it sounds possible. And listen, I said I want everything from 11/12, everything. I want everything from Linda Lane, fresh and raw, from midnight till 7 a.m. All of it. And I said,
Oh
then
yeah,
I'll make it.
you won't. They're not gonna. They're not gonna hand us that.
I know we're never gonna get
They're,
it, but that's
yeah,
the only way that I'll
they're
believe
gonna
it.
say oh, we didn't get it and now it's not there, or
Right.
we didn't look there because we didn't think it was relevant because we found the DNA in the sheath. All this BS, but it does leave the door open. When they don't give us that, it just leaves the door open for speculation and allows
Of
us to
course.
continue to dig until we find what really happened. And we're closer. I'll tell you that we are closer.
Oh, 100%. They want us to stay confused. Hey, Peaky, good to see you. Yeah, they want us to stay confused on this. And I think there's people that are, a lot of us have gotten a lot closer to what actual truth on this could be. And every time that happens, conveniently, something new comes out to draw your attention away from what you're doing, as always, just like it did when this came out. The initial Linda Lane came out. So yeah, if it's ever possible, I want the entire 11/12 camera, because listen, if any camera footage out of all of these is going to have actual truth on it, it's going to be that one. It's the closest one, and it would have the best audio. If they're screaming, yelling, all this other shit, because when you listen to the 11/12 camera around the same time, you can hear that singing, the chanting, singing. I said it. You can hear it. I don't know where it's coming from, but you can hear it. And it sounds way further away than it does in this video, which makes no sense because it should be closer if it's at the house, okay? I don't know if it came from the Moy house that was having a party behind the 1122 house, if it came from right here. If it came from the 1122 house, it could have came from anywhere around this area. But
could have been the apartments.
Yeah, exactly. So my thought is, it truly, the audio video that I want full from I'm truly from 9 o'clock that night until 7, 8 o'clock the next morning, or screw it, till noon the next day. I want the 11/12 footage, every bit of it. And I want to listen to every bit of that and bring it and watch it, because I guarantee you, and I'll say this again and again, there is stuff that they have that probably tells the entire story, the true story, and that's why we'll never see it.
Yeah, and the only thing I can think of, this is like deeper, bigger picture stuff, is that the reason they're hiding the truth is they're going after something bigger.
Well, it shows that
Deeper,
Brian didn't do it too.
right? Because if they show that, then everyone's on watch, right? Everyone knows, oh, the real killer's out there, and or
Yeah, and it'll prove
killers.
that it wasn't Brian Koberger. That's, you know what I'm saying, and that can never be shown, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because listen, if you think about it, okay, if this camera per se is picking anything up from the 50 yards that this distance is between the 1122 house to here, possibly, it's going to be faint. Not faint, but it's not going to be super. It's not going to be as clear as this is, for one. But I'll say that. But it's going to be, you'll be able to hear it. And just as much as the 11/12 camera were to pick anything up from down here, there's going to be a distance. You'll be able to hear it, okay? But the 11/12 camera will pick up, in my opinion, if there was anything going on outside, which we heard Murphy barking very clearly, and you know he was outside listening to that, okay? And you hear it 1 something, I can't remember what time it was. You can hear that singing coming from somewhere. And you hear some noises here and there, so on and so forth. I want to see it all. And I think it would tell the true story. That 11/12 camera that's probably exactly why nobody's ever going to see it. Never.
Yeah, I think it's like we're playing Wheel of Fortune and we're guessing the right letter. We're like, hey, can we have a T, please?
Sure.
And they're like, yeah, there's 5 T's. And Vanna goes and she's like, actually, wait. Before we show you and actually prove that there's a T and 5 of them, we have to clear it with some courts or something to make sure that privacy concerns aren't. It's like, what are we talking? Like, no, just show us the T. We called it. We were asking for it.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
show it. There's nothing bad. You don't have to black it out. So we can solve this puzzle, please. And if we guess wrong, then tell us we guessed wrong and we'll spin again. And then we guess an S. And it's like, okay, there's, it's like, then when we go and they're like, all right, well, we'll give you the vowels. It's like, well, no, we need the whole puzzle, guys. And then it's really easy to solve because we have all the letters. It's like here, but they're not giving it to us, so it's impossible to try to piece everything together, even the cause of death. Because I'm still skeptical on that. I have my sources and my context saying that that's not all by stab wound. So it's like, all right, well, I'm offering up a weird letter, right? I'm saying Z. Well, there's a freaking Z in the puzzle. Like, I'm calling it. People think I'm stupid and crazy, but the word is buzz. God dang it. So it's tough, but I don't think they're going to be able to hide everything too much longer, or at least I hope not.
Right.
But I don't know do we know what the next like court hearing is in regards to like the release of evidence? I mean, I guess that'd be it, right?
My understanding is that there should be more documentation, unsealed, redacted documents coming out, another set of them at some point. I kind of expected them this week, but I guess 14 days and then whatever.
Right. Or at some point, there's got to be some lawsuit dangled against the city to release it.
Well, according to what Hitler stated in the last document, it's coming.
Hitler doesn't even have jurisdiction over it, I don't think. Like, does he?
Oh yeah,
Like,
the documents that were he put out on this, and then the defense filed a motion to seal certain things that would be coming out next, or to keep sealed certain things, because I think you were in here the night that I did the show where I was talking about, I think Ann still got something going on in the background because she's sealing shit as we go. She hasn't withdrawn. She's still doing stuff, so something could be going on. But that's the next thing I can see happening. As far as any hearings or anything, I haven't seen anything posted. I keep looking at the case summary and there's nothing really there. But anything could happen at any time, dude. You know that. Like, with the way this is going, like, there could be something that blows up tomorrow that we have no idea was coming, and then poof, here it is. So until I see Ann Taylor and any of the rest of the defense withdraw the documents that show that they withdrew.
Yeah, but like Koberger doesn't have any hearings upcoming, right?
No.
And
he's done.
Yeah, he's just chilling, right?
This is all said and done
outside of like maybe some like leaked footage that might have been like invasion of privacy or something, but like, again, who gives a shit about, who cares? I don't care about that.
Yeah, it could be, but like I said, that's the next thing we're waiting on, is any documents or anything else that could come out in that aspect. But
right, like a picture of the sheath.
Yeah, right. That'd be amazing now, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
like I said,
funny.
The sheath or not the sheath, because show it to me. 9,000 plus pictures and not one picture. Now, Lana joined us the other day for a show, and she's trying to FOIA the. I don't know if you went through all the reports and stuff, but there was a report where the photographer claimed that he deleted specific pictures because they were washed out, and he thought the number would roll to the next number, and they didn't. And just conveniently, there's 3 pictures missing, and she's trying to FOIA the 5 before and after to see what number they flow in. Hey, Contessa, good to see you, hun. And a lot of people are believing, her and I both believe, that those could possibly be the knife sheath. Conveniently,
Well,
since we haven't seen it in 9,000 pictures.
well, yeah. I mean, there's two reasons why they wouldn't want the knife sheath to be seen. One, because it doesn't. It's not Brian's, right? It has no connection to him. It's
Or maybe it's
specific,
not what they claim it to be.
right? Yeah. Yeah. So like, um, but even if that's the case, then that's fine. Then there should be a note on that portion of evidence saying, "Hey, this is missing because of this," just like any other investigation. If they were to bring that to court, they would have had to say that, right? When they make it
Yeah.
public, hey, yep, we messed up. So, our bad. There was a flood, whatever. Someone stole it.
Fire. Or,
Okay, who is in charge of those documents? Oh, it was Payne. Interesting. It's like,
well,
got it. And
that's
like,
what I just told.
where's his body cam? Was his body cam rolling when he was walking through here? Like,
Well,
uh,
that's another thing
like,
too. I don't think he was wearing one because he's a detective. He probably showed up in plain clothes and didn't have one on. Truly conveniently, I don't think he was.
yeah, and like, let's see where he was at the night before. Like, I think he was out romping around downtown Moscow early that morning, and I think he got out of there late night and then came back later. But again, you gotta these people gotta prove where they were and what they were doing, with all the time that was between time of death and when the coroner finally got there.
There's a lot of questions that just continuously continue to grow. The more we get, the more information that we're handed, the more questions that come from the information. It answers nothing ever. Um, and so yeah, I just, like I said, I'm not gonna let this go. I will not let this
Yeah.
go. I can't. If I let this go, it's basically saying, okay,
Oh,
you did it.
Jesse's
You can
asking
have your
about the
way.
neck beard.
The what?
Jesse's asking about the neck beard. Said I want to hear more about this neck beard. He's asking about Twiz's neck beard, I think.
Oh, Twiz got a hell of a beard. Last time I saw it when he was in court, yeah, it's
Mhm.
pretty wild.
Yeah, he's got to hide. He can't get taken out.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while.
Jeez. All right, well, I'm out. Good talking to you. Catch you later.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you every time. Good to see you and hope to see you again
Peace.
soon. All right, guys. So I think that's going to do it for tonight. We've been here 3 hours plus. Yes, that is true. They both own properties, by the way. They both own student housing properties as well, interestingly enough. Dylan, any last thoughts on anything we talked about?
I mean, with that video, and was assuming that it is accurate, it kind of gives a little bit of credence to a theory that I've had of these were two separate murders.
Yeah.
It just so happened to be in the same house at different times.
Oh, sure. No. And I've been on the bandwagon and you can ask these guys before you even showed up here, for quite a while, that Xana and Ethan very possibly were the first two attacked. That's something I've been on for a long, long time. That's just me. Okay. That's my opinion. But I mean, it could be. It could be. There's too many could be's and too many might be's, and not enough absolutely's. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I joked about it last time I was on here. I'm not throwing out the fact that it was Murphy getting angry he didn't get that extra treat.
Yeah. Hey.
I mean,
it is what it is.
But assuming that the audio that we heard is also accurate, it would also point to the fact that that I think there was I heard a second girl's voice, kind of almost pleading with what sounded like to be Adam,
Yeah,
That
that
is
was
that,
part of what that was.
and if that is accurate, then you have your weak link that's going to crack.
Sure, absolutely. Here's the thing. Something Dylan said when he was up here about don't completely toss it to the side about the timeline being. Folks, you know me by now. You know the passion that I have for this. You know the time that I put into this. Okay, listen. For as far as I'm concerned, this could have started at midnight. Okay, and the 4 a.m. shit is just a ruse. Because we don't know for sure anything. We know what they are telling us. They know what they have told us. We know what they have showed us. Sorry. That's it. And I don't trust nor believe any of it at this point. And I have no reason to. They have not given me one reason to believe anything they've told me. That's all I'm saying. So could this have happened at 1 a.m.? Absolutely. Could this have happened at 2 a.m.? Sure thing. You want to listen to what Stacey Chapin says, 2 a.m. is a dark hour? Come on. I mean, what do these things mean? They mean anything could be anything at this point. Sarge believes that the crimes didn't start till 4:17 when Murphy started barking. And if you go back and think about what was talked about 3 years ago almost, when Kim was on my channel and said that Dago, everybody knew about this, and that those girls are lying. This was supposed to be a shakedown that got carried away, and it turned into something really bad, really quick. So it could have been a confrontation or an argument that just went way out of hand. And I even said that nobody knows still. That's the other big mystery. Welcome, Kaleidoscope. When the hell Xana and Ethan actually did get home? Nobody knows. There's no answer to that, folks. There's no proof of that. So did something come home with them? Did somebody pretending to be friends with them come with them and then turn on them? Any of these things are possibilities, okay? The only thing that I believe truly is not a possibility in this is that Brian Koberger did this. That's where I'm at with this now. I got off the fence a while ago, and I'm all the way to the right now with this as far as the innocence, and that's what I mean by that. That he's innocent of this, because I cannot find in anything one thing that proves to me that this kid did this, period. That's all I've asked for anybody to show me. Show me one piece of evidence, real evidence, that proves that he went in that house and committed these murders. And nobody can do that.
I mean, just give me the evidence that he was in the area.
You can't. They can't do that because he wasn't. There's our Molly. Good to see you, Molly. Right.
I mean,
he just didn't. He didn't do this, guys. I don't believe that. I can't believe that. I've tried to force myself to believe that. And my brain says, no, stupid. No, stupid. It doesn't make sense. No, stupid. He didn't do this. I can't. Guys, I'm telling you, no bullshit. I've tried to force myself to believe it. Dylan, hold that thought or discuss what you're saying.
I mean, it just kind of throwback to the first thing I said coming up on this channel. You guys were talking about a book that Koberger would be coming out, and I just simply said that book ain't ever coming out because Brian Koberger knows about as much as what we know, because there is no way in hell he committed this. Nothing points to Koberger. Everything more and more is pointing to Greek Row. Plain and simple. So,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Every evidence drop makes him look more. It does. It does. Every time we get something new, every damn time, I get further and further and further away from this man being guilty. I don't believe it. I wanted to believe it. I wanted to believe it because I wanted to be able to have more faith in law enforcement and the judicial system of Idaho and believe that this couldn't happen. I'll be damned if I can't. It sure as hell doesn't. I don't believe in it at all. And like I said, the more we get, the less I believe in them. It's scary, truly.
I mean, the way that I looked at it and the way that I look at all of these type of things is, okay, you got your guy, now show me.
Yes.
And it was, okay, we got 51 terabytes of data. All right. We'll see it. We'll see it in court. And then he pleads guilty. And I'm like, okay, that's odd. Okay.
Very hard to deal with. I agree. But
and then stuff starts coming out, and it's like, where's the smoking gun? Like, I see nothing here. Show me.
I don't believe we're going to either. Oh, I know, Molly. I know, and I know why. It's crazy, folks. It's crazy. So,
I mean, I'm willing to ride with law enforcement all the way through until I start sniffing the bull.
And that's where a lot of us were at in the beginning of this. They said they got their guy. Good. I'm glad you got him. I feel good for this community now. It's good. It's great. And then they dropped the PCA, and everybody went, "What? No way. Nope. I'm done." And I even still doubted things. I sat right in the middle and said, okay, fine. You're saying he did this, and the stupid statement that came every other day. They got so much more they're going to bring for the trial. When and where is that going to be proven? Because they don't have shit. They have nothing. My husband was in a Greek frat. He was given a K-bar knife, and he still has it. What? Jesus, Melissa, that's crazy. That is nuts. That's nuts. She's right. What are the odds? That's insane. But yeah, guys, that's where I'm at. Like, if you show me some proof, and I'm not talking about what they have called proof because it's bullshit. The circumstantial, that's not even a word for what they have. The only thing that made me throw any doubt at this whatsoever was when they said that they have him buying the knife on Amazon, but that's all they ever said. They never showed a receipt to prove it. They never showed anything else besides that. And Brian, the defense never spoke on it. So at that time, what am I supposed to think? Okay, so I just don't. And so what? So what if he did buy it? There's so many other options that could have happened besides him using it to murder 4 people. It could have been stolen. He could have sold it. He could have traded it. He could have gave it to somebody. He could have lost the damn thing. Period. Okay? So, and at this point, because his family had a family Amazon account, okay? It doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. So, we'll be driving on down the road and continuing this on time after time. Yeah, and the wounds, that's another one. Eddie says the wounds don't match. The Mabbit herself said that. Steve said that. They don't match a 7-inch K-bar. Period. I can go grab my machete and show you more like what they would match and or something else, but they don't match that knife. I don't think so. Not at all. They have a gift card he bought or someone bought, used to yeah. Why would this guy buy a gift card to purchase a knife with when you can just buy the damn knife? That makes no damn sense to me. I think that's another ruse. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. If there was a gift card, then it was a gift. Like they are. He didn't use it. He didn't go buy the gift. They made it, the way they explained it was that he bought the gift card so that he could use the gift card to buy the knife. Why would you do that? That's so dumb. And the whole knife thing, if he did do it, it sounds like a gift to me. Okay. The K-bar knife sheath and the sharpener, it sounds like it's a gift you might be giving to somebody. Or if it is for yourself, he could have been using it to travel across the country. He was by himself and it's something to defend himself with. and it was either stolen from his car, his apartment. It ain't hard to get into somebody's apartment and take their shit. And there was that guy, if you guys remember, that he was seen talking to that was kind of shady. They were arguing about something. We don't know who that guy is. He was on a motorcycle, all that. That dude could have stolen it from him, or he could have gave it to him or traded it to him. I know he didn't have any friends, so there's very limited access to things like that. So who knows? I don't know, but maybe one day we will. That's the only way I can look at this. Maybe one day there will be a real deal. This makes plenty of sense answer to what is the deal with the knife. That's all I can say. So that being said, it's 11:30 here, and I got to get out of here. I will be back here tomorrow, either late morning or early afternoon, and we'll go forward with something different or something else. Of course, there's plenty of stuff to talk about. Maybe something on this. Who knows? But I'll be here, and I hope you guys are too. Dylan, I appreciate you, brother, as always. Dylan Mort, I appreciate you. And, of course, Eddie, brother, you know, I appreciate you more than anything in the world. Dylan, your insights, your opinions, your feelings, your thoughts are amazing. I appreciate you very much. Knock it off.
Always a pleasure to be on.
Can't wait. Sorry, my dogs are doing the thing. But, yeah, I can't wait for the next time. Everybody else in here, guys, you know what I'm going to tell you, and it's all facts, guys. I appreciate you guys so very much. I wouldn't be here without you. Thank you to anybody that donated to the Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, any other way you've donated possibly. Thank you so much for that. Again, never expected, but so very much appreciated, guys. It keeps me going. Guys, don't forget, please, to love yourselves and love each other. That's so very important. And please don't change nothing. You guys are the beautiful people, and I will see you very soon. Have a great night, folks. Good night. God bless. Bye-bye, everybody.
Drip, drip, sink, coffee cold, mind can't think, neon buzz, time don't blink, where'd they go, who's the link? True crime cafe, where the whispers play, secrets hide, bodies sway. True crime cafe, in the night we stay, truth decay, truth decay. Eyes like stone, words like daggers, chill to the bone. Echoes of screams on a borrowed phone. A city of shadows, you're never alone. And the sirens wail, another ghost for the tale. True crime cafe, where the whispers play, secrets hide, bodies sway. True crime cafe, in the night we stay. Truth decay, truth decay. Ashtrays full, sins don't wash, tables stained, lives embossed, fingers point but the lines aren't crossed. Justice sleeps at a heavy cost. True crime cafe, in the night we stay. Truth decay, truth decay. True crime cafe, where the whispers play, secrets hide, bodies sway. True crime cafe, in the night we stay. Truth decay, truth decay, truth decay. They go in the corner, eyes like stone, words like daggers, chill to the bone. Echoes of screams on a borrowed phone. A city of shadows, you're never alone.